Bada bing, bada boom. We are back in business. Welcome to Wake 'em Up Wednesday. Everybody in the house say hey. Everybody in the house say ho. Everybody in the house say hey ho. Everybody in the house say hey ho hey. Hey ho hey. Hey ho hey. Everybody in the house say hey hey hey. Ho 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 ho. Hey hey ho ho. Hey ho ho. Ho hey. Hey 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 ho. Go on. Say it. All right. That's how I like to get my party started. On a wacky, wild, wonderful Wake 'em Up Wednesday. You know how we do it around here. Keeping it fresh. Keeping it funky. All right. How's everybody doing? It's Wednesday. Another Wednesday. Got to try and find some shit to talk about tonight. And we have some world stage shenanigans that are worthy of my attention. Some headline grabbing news, right? I don't know if you guys heard, but P. Diddy, formerly known as Puffy McDaddy Dougals, he got busted for drinking toilet wine. This sounds like news to me. Sounds like I need to break this story down, right? And we got Joe Rogan talking about civil war, which causes mainstream media to tell everybody that Joe Rogan is talking about civil war. So what does that mean? What the hell kind of civil war could Joe Rogan be talking about? We're going to get into that tonight. I'm going to break down all the fakery from these actors on this world stage, because let's face it, these are puppets on a world stage, duping the public on a day-to-day basis, filling our heads with more fake news and bullshit than we can possibly handle, so that everything people think they know is nothing but bullshit. So I'm the one guy here on YouTube still trying to see through the bullshit and give it to you straight and make you laugh at the same time. So with that said, we're going to get the party started with a super chat coming in from Trout Fishing at Hood Park. Said Wednesday night reality check time. That's right. It's a Wake 'em Up Wednesday. But let's be honest. Most people who haven't woke up yet probably aren't going to. They're going to be stuck in a slumber until death. Hell, there's plenty of sheep who want Big Daddy government to govern them harder. Please, Big Daddy government, govern me harder. Right? They're like, all right, if you be good little slaves, maybe we'll open up the government. Maybe we'll give you your food stamps. But you got to promise to be good little slaves. Vote for the next Democratic candidate in the next phony election, okay? We promise we will. All right, so we're going to start off by thanking Trout Fishing at Hood Park. Kevin, I appreciate the generous super chat donations and the PayPal donation the other night. You are a great supporter of the channel. Fist bumps, bro. Put the fist to the screen. Giving it a bump. You help my channel thrive and survive during uncertain times. All right, guys. You know what I think we need to do on a wacky Wake 'em Up Wednesday? First, I need to read this super chat from Doxological Thinker. It said it's Wake 'em Up Wednesday. You know precisely what I was thinking on a wacky, wild, wonderful Wake 'em Up Wednesday. You know what we should do to get the party started? Or you know what I should do to get the party started? I think I should do that thing that I do better than anyone in the world. Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? Oh, yeah. It's that time. I'm about to do the greatest was up that any human could possibly ever do. Because let's face it, nobody does a was up better than me. And on a wacky, wild, wonderful Wake 'em Up Wednesday. I can't think of a better way to get the party started than by saying, was it? Up. There it is. The greatest was up in the world. Nobody does it better than me. Nobody. In fact, I don't even see anyone trying to do a was up better than me. So there's no chance anyone will ever surpass me. Because I'm the only one who does it like that. And everybody knows they can't compete. That's why I'm always going to be the mother freaking titty seeking king of the was ups. That's right. That's right. All right. Getting us started just right tonight. Definitely not artificial intelligence. No. Nothing artificial about what we do around here. In fact, we keeps it real. Keeping it real. Keeping it fresh. I make this show up on the spot. You know, every once in a while, I might repeat a bit from the past. But it's usually based on suggestions from you guys. But for the most part, it's like 75% or more of this show always made up on the spot. So each of my was-ups, for instance, are a little different. I change them up each time. That way you don't get bored with the same old was-up. All right. So, you guys ready to have a magnificent time tonight? A truly magnificent night here on a random Wednesday. All right. I'm thinking we could start with the P. Diddy stuff, work our way into the Joe Rogan trash, and then from there we could just screw around, have some fun, talk about whatever you guys want. Sounds like a plan to me. So with that said, let's get to the first video clip. I don't want to leave you guys waiting too long tonight. We'll jump right into the material. So this is a big news story. P. Diddy getting busted. Drinking toilet wine. Because that's what you do in jail, right? You got to serve some time. You got to drink some wine. Toilet wine. All right, let's get the lowdown from this creature right here with this totally non-lizard-like neck. This neck is totally non-lizard-like. It does not remind me of a lizard at all. This creature right here looks totally normal to me. All right, let's boogie.
Start with toilet wine. Turns out is a misnomer. The toilet is most is mostly a hiding place. And God knows it is not really wine, right? And Sean Diddy Combs is not the first prison inmate to get busted with it, allegedly. But Diddy may be the first to have once owned a vodka brand worth upwards of $1 billion. That would be Ciroc, which sold officially earlier this year for a fraction of that price. Ciroc is distilled 5 times from the finest French grapes, or so it claims.
There's something about news ladies, and I use the quotation marks for obvious reasons. There's something about the news ladies that they tend to look very creature-like. I don't know a better way to describe it. Very creature-esque, right? Something about it that just seems non-human. I don't want to say it's lizard-like, but definitely creature-esque, we'll call it. And I'm being nice.
Toilet wine, on the other hand, is a fermented combo of Fanta, sugar, and apples.
Toilet wine, you guys. So the mainstream news about P. Diddy is that he's busted drinking toilet wine while he's supposed to be serving his sentence in jail, right? For all the fun he had at his parties. So we got a super chat coming in from Crimby. Said, thanks for the magnificent entertainment, Jake. Oh, well, we're just getting started. You know, I get to tell you guys all about prison hooch toilet bowl wine, right? And then we're going to move on to some Joe Rogan brain rot. So big night, right? Because that's the type of shit that people are into. Stupid stories like this, right? So if that's what people are into these days, if that's what's grabbing headlines, then sure, we'll break it down. We'll talk about it. All right. Thank you very much, Crimby, for the super chat. Much love, much appreciation. So, guys, they want us to believe that P. Diddy, since he's behind bars, he's still getting into trouble, even though he's in the place that you go when you get into trouble. Yeah. So they have to come up with all these jailhouse shenanigans for him to get caught doing so that he has like some sort of like street cred when he gets out, right? Did you hear? P. Diddy got busted drinking toilet wine. That's how you know he's in jail right now. That sounds like something P. Diddy would do. The same guy that had those crazy baby oil stick a dildo in your booty parties. Yeah, of course he's the guy who gets caught with the prison hooch. Of course. Think he's going to serve his sentence sober? Think again. That guy's a wild, crazy party animal. And there's so many prisoners who want to do P. Diddy a favor. You got prisoners practically lining up to make P. Diddy his prison hooch. I'm going to risk getting more of a longer sentence because I want to make P. Diddy some of my famous Buck's prison hooch made by me, Buck himself. When P. Diddy tastes my prison hooch, he's going to be so proud of me. He's never going to want to drink any of the other prisoners' prison hooch ever again. That's probably the stuff that they have going on back there behind the scenes in prison with P. Diddy, right? That's got to be what's going on. Or so they want us to believe. Nady DeGrady said, Diddy still depressed that Luigi is more popular? Yeah, that story's died down considerably. See, the Kirk shit has started to die down. So they had to reach in the barrel and pull something out, right? They didn't have really anything lined up, so they had to dig deep. Like, let's keep people thinking about how P. Diddy's in prison right now, in jail, serving his sentence for all the fun he had at his crazy baby oil parties, right? With Justin Bieber. Doing all that freaky deaky stuff, right? So he got in trouble for that. because apparently having that much fun is illegal. And so they can't even keep crazy P. Diddy, locked up serving his sentence. No, he finds a way to get his hands on some of that sweet, sweet toilet bowl hooch. Thank you very much, Nady DeGrady, for your super chat donation. I hecka appreciate it. Totally hecka. All right, let's hear more about the prison hooch. Doesn't it look wonderful? It's like, hey, what else do you got to do when you're in prison? And you know what? The sheeple will believe this by the millions, that P. Diddy drank this right here and got caught. And now he's going to get a slightly longer sentence.
And though there are many variations, they are all alcoholic, which is the point, and all strictly off limits in lockup. But TMZ is reporting that Diddy has been caught with the stuff this week, in fact. He did have a birthday on Tuesday and was going to be moved to a new unit, apparently, as punishment, but the officials changed their minds, according to the report. But that still leaves the question of Diddy's alleged newfound sobriety.
So this is all they need to dupe the public, is some really terrible, grainy pictures. Like, how do you even know that that's fucking Diddy at this point, right? With the AI technology. Hell, you don't even need good AI technology. This could just be easily achieved with some shitty video editing software, right? You just show the people this right here. Oh, yeah, P. Diddy's in prison. Got caught with some toilet bowl hooch. I saw it on the news. And you know that they get the lowdown on what goes down inside the prisons.
Going to be moved to a new unit, apparently, as punishment, but the officials changed their minds, according to the report. But that still leaves the question of Diddy's alleged newfound sobriety, which he made such a big point of emphasizing when he was sentenced, and whether this will have any impact on that sentence. Joining me now with his hard-won expertise on all of this is our friend Gene Borrello, a former mob enforcer and ex-federal inmate.
Whoa, they're going to bring in the prison hooch expert. This is his area of expertise. Puff Daddy getting busted with toilet bowl hooch. Gonna bring in the fucking toilet bowl hooch expert to break it down for all the folks watching at home.
I have been dying to talk to you about this. Every time I hear toilet wine, I keep thinking, do you stir it in the toilet? And if so, how is it clean? And how on earth do you make a duty?
And how on earth do you make a duty? Great questions from this creature. Do you stir it in the toilet bowl? How on earth do you make a duty? We're going to need to bring in the toilet bowl hooch expert to explain to everybody, because this is highly confusing.
Toilet, and if so, how is it clean? And how on earth do you make a duty? But I have come to learn, no. So for our audience, can you explain what it is and how it's made?
Yeah, so it's called hooch. Basically, is different ways to make it. You can make it with orange peels. You can make it with sugar. It's all different ways. But what a lot of people don't know, and why it is serious in prison, it can blow up. So if you don't know what you're doing and you don't let it breathe, as they say, it could actually be like a bomb. So it actually can.
Whoa. No, it is not like a bomb. It doesn't start on fire and like blow things up and destroy things. You can't mix fruit and yeast together in a fucking plastic bottle and have it blow up like a bomb. It might blow the cap off the bottle and spew some shit around, right? So you'll get like your alcohol-y mixture that might shoot outward, but it's not going to blow up like a bomb. That's just fucking ridiculous. Boo! Oh yeah, did you hear this guy? He tried to make prison wine, and it blew him up inside of his cell. Right? Burned down the whole fucking prison. No, you can't make a bomb with fruit and yeast.
No, and why it is serious in prison, it can blow up. So if you don't know what you're doing and you don't let it breathe, as they say, it could actually be like a bomb. So it actually can blow up and everything will spray everywhere. but it can get you drunk, and it could also land you in the hole. So, I mean, I don't know as far as them saying he's going to move him out of the unit. I know I know it's a very serious ticket. I know he could lose his phone, he could lose commissary, and he could lose visits, and also maybe go to the SHU for up to 30 days or maybe more.
So, I mean, that's all serious stuff. I keep wondering about the sentence. Do you not think it's possible, especially since he campaigned, in his sentencing, that he was getting sober? He'd been working, on a sobriety at the MDC. And now he's at Fort Dix. And if this is true, if the report's true,
he's at Fort Dix drinking prison wine for having freaky deaky parties where people did stuff with baby oil. Of course, this is what happened. This is headline news.
might they say, well, screw it, you're not getting your 15% off your federal sentence?
Right. So it don't work like that. But every ticket in the feds, if it's a certain degree ticket, you will lose some good time. We call it good time. In New York State and federal prison is two different. You could actually lose your good time in New York State or any state prison and get your good time back. The feds, once you lose it, you can't get it back.
I see why this guy is an expert in his field. I'm glad they bring on fucking black hat, black hoodie guy to explain how he get his good time back. Nah, they could put you in the hole. Yeah, you could lose your good time. The prison hooch, man, it could blow up like a bomb. It's like, oh yes, this guy went to college to become a a professional hooch expert, right? And that's why the news, they go to this guy because he really knows his shit. He can explain it to the public.
So if he does lose 20 days, 40 days for this, he cannot get it back, or whatever they recommend for him to lose, because they will recommend days to be lost on this kind of ticket.
Okay, let's get back to making it. I know you gave me the ingredients.
Right.
This bitch wants to know how to make it so she can make some prison hooch at home. That's what this creature wants. This creature wants some prison hooch. Look at this thing. How exactly is the prison hooch made? That's what people are dying to know.
I want you to tell me how you put them together and the burping, which is interesting. But before you do that, how is the toilet involved? Because
I want to know all about the burping, because the last thing I want is for it to blow up like a bomb. I want to make prison hooch at home. I'm very curious, and maybe many of our viewers want to also make their own prison hooch at home. But we don't want the hooch to blow up like a bomb. Could you please give us the exact method in which you burp your toilet bowl hooch? Mr. Toilet Bowl Hooch expert.
My mind, whenever I heard toilet wine, I imagine an inmate stirring, the hooch in the toilet bowl, but that's not it. Right. So explain what actually happens.
Well, they usually get a big garbage bag, like a big clear bag. I've seen it done in a garbage bag, and they'll put it in the toilet and then let it sit in there. You know what I mean? They won't actually put it in the toilet bowl. You get what I'm saying? With the water. You know what I mean, right? You're not actually stirring it in the bag,
in the tank, yeah. So it's in a bag and it's hidden in the toilet tank, not in the toilet bowl.
Not in the toilet bowl,
and that's just.
And it takes a while to make. It takes a while to make. It's not just an overnight thing. This takes days to make it. And remember, it smells really bad, so you have to have a good hiding spot. It's very strong.
Oh, it does smell. Okay, so that's the other thing. So the toilet tank is what you're hiding it from the view of the guards, not necessarily the temperature of the toilet tank is, optimal for the fermentation of the lovely hooch, But so they put it in the toilet tank, and then how does the toilet tank fill up with water to flush? You pull it out, do your business, and flush, and then put it back in?
Yes. So, like I said, these people.
That's bullshit too, because a lot of times. If you've ever even seen like on TV or them showing the inside of a prison or inside of a jail, there is no toilet tank that you can like take off the back and stuff. So in a lot of these jailhouse toilets, they just like it's just like it comes out of the wall, right? So like in a lot of public restrooms, like at parks and stuff, you don't have like a tank that you can just open up and mess with the stuff inside, right? So it's usually like a toilet that comes out of the wall. So a lot of what they're saying is just bullshit anyway. They're making shit up. What do you guys think? Uh-oh. Somebody got timed out by accident. If they got timed out, they should be able to come back within usually a few minutes or whatever. I'll have to go through and unban everybody. Sometimes when somebody gets banned by accident, I got to go sift through thousands of names. There's no way to quickly find it. So like I usually just end up just unbanning everybody, letting everyone out of the ban jail. Looks like we lost LaFleur tonight. Maybe he had something else better to do, or he didn't want to hear about the jailhouse hooch. The last Trump 2024 said he's the best toilet wine distiller on this side of the Mississippi. All right, looks like there was a joke between raw onions and Holden or something. Hey, yeah, mods, make sure that if you're going to time someone out, that that they actually deserve it. You know, usually the trolls that show up and talk about anything like where you can tell that they're here just to stir up shit and start trouble, then you get rid of them. But just make sure that you're not timing someone out who's like joking around about something or whatever. But mistakes happen. It's happened to me. People make a joke about somebody that I'm showing on the screen, and then I think they're talking about me, and then I get all pissed off. So it's happened plenty of times where I've started calling someone out only for them to be like, dude, I'm a fan of your channel. I was talking about the guy you were showing on screen, not you. So mistakes happen. I'll go through after the stream ends and I'll unban everybody and let all of the demons out of the hidden users dungeon. I have this dungeon where I keep like, I don't know, hundreds, maybe thousands of people hidden. And every once in a while, every few years, I let them all out. Because I know there's going to be handfuls of people who got timed out or banned by accident who are in there for me to go through and try and figure out who's a good person who didn't deserve to be banned and who's a troll who deserves to be banned. It's actually easiest for me to just set all the trolls free. I'm a good man. Every so often, I let all of the worst trolls in the history of the internet free so they can come back to my channel and talk more shit and get banned again. All right. All right, we'll move on to what Joe Rogan was saying. Joe Rogan was talking about civil war, and it caused Fox News to do a news report on Joe Rogan talking about civil war. Imagine that, Joe Rogan so popular that mainstream media will report on shit that he says and then sit around and talk about it. That's how much pull Joe Rogan has. And in this latest Joe Rogan video, I'm going to show you, in typical Joe Rogan fashion, he's going to gaslight anybody who's actually awake to the world stage. He's going to gaslight the shit out of you. All right. So in this episode, Rogan is interviewing someone named Brian Redban, whoever the hell that is. And right away, before we even get started, check it out. Look what he's wearing. Before we even kick off this shit show, look what this guy is wearing. Joe Rogan is gaslighting the shit out of anybody who remembers that he used to call out the moon landing for being fake. And then he infamously flip-flopped on his own moon landing stance. He had Neil deGrasse Tyson come on his program, on his podcast, and cuck him out on his own show. And he flip-flopped on his stance. And he was like, oh, yeah, people who don't think the moon landing's real, yeah, they're just retarded. And he even went as far as to say that he was being retarded when he thought that the moon landing was fake. And now look at him, sitting there wearing, like, what is this? Like, Halloween is over. What in the flying fuck are you wearing, Joe? Gaslighting in the highest degree, right?
Did you see that new information about China came out with a new quantum computer that can do it can do an equation in 4 minutes. It takes all the world's supercomputers 2.6 billion years to solve.
Really?
And it can do it in 4 minutes.
Is that real though?
I mean, allegedly.
I mean,
so the first thing he starts off with is some bullshit about a Chinese quantum computer. One more time. The first thing that these dudes start talking about. And look, this guy's wearing some NASA shit too. What a couple losers. Like Halloween costume level.
Good to see you.
good to see you.
Did you see that new information about China came out with a new quantum computer?
Did you see that new information that China came out with a new quantum computer
that can do it can do an equation in 4 minutes. It takes all the world's supercomputers 2.6 billion years to solve.
It can do an equation in 4 minutes that all of the other computers take however many billion years to solve? Am I hearing this correctly?
Really?
And it can do it in 4 minutes.
Wow, that's really cool, Joe. Thank you for that totally made up bullshit, useless information to start your show.
Is that real though?
Is that real, Joe?
I mean, allegedly.
I mean,
I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly.
What a fucking piece of shit. Just starting your show like that. Just fuck you, Joe Rogan. You lying, gaslighting, stupid piece of shit. And fuck your huge audience. And fuck anyone who likes Joe Rogan at this point.
That's the problem with this whole quantum thing is I don't understand. I've had it explained to me 4 or 5 times. I don't understand it.
yeah.
It's just my monkey brain is like, whoa.
They also say a lot of things, you know.
Right.
Like, so who knows if it's real or not?
Well, you mean China?
Yeah,
Or,
China.
Yeah. But they have American ones that have done them too. They've done some crazy, like Mark Andreessen explained one of them. That it's so nuts. He said that it solved a computer that if you took, it solved an equation if you took all of the world's atoms and converted it into a supercomputer, all of the universe's atoms, excuse me, and converted it into a supercomputer, it would take so much time to solve this equation that the universe would die of heat death, and this quantum computer solved it in a matter of minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, and who gets to make that shit up, right? So they have Joe Rogan, who's got the giant audience, and he says this as if he believes all this shit. You know, it just blows my mind that there's this super mega quantum computer that can solve this equation, that anyone else in the world who tries to solve it, it just melts their brain and then all of humanity dies. And if everyone collectively tried to solve this equation, humanity would die 1,000,000 times over. But there's this new Chinese quantum computer, and it's so quantum that it's able to do it in 4 minutes. I mean, wow. Isn't that amazing, you guys? Quantum. Isn't that so quantifyingly amazing? That is some extra quantum fantastic fucking quantasmic information. Got a super chat from my main man, JP Crucino. Says Tucker Carlson had Dane Wigington, geoengineering chemtrail expert, on his show for 1 hour. Tucker played dumb, like he never given the conspiracy or given the spraying any notice. Would be great to hear your take, Jake. The problem with Dane Wigington is he's like the designated chemtrail shill. So whenever are going to be talked about on the news in a conspiratorial setting, he's the guy that they typically will call up, and he's the guy that makes an appearance. So much like whenever Flat Earth was talked about on mainstream news, they would have somebody like Mark Sargent, you know, a shill presenting the information. Dane Wigington is the geoengineering shill. He'll say, I don't call it chemtrails, and I don't like people calling it chemtrails because that's where people will lose track of the science, and it's called geoengineering. So he's really all about calling it geoengineering, and he doesn't like the word chemtrail. And so what he'll do is he'll mix in info about the spraying, but he'll tie it in with a ball earth, and he'll tie it in with disinformation. So for instance, I've heard Dane Wigington on multiple occasions say something like this: the constant spraying is ripping holes in the ozone layer. You guys, our ozone layer around our Earth is like a thin layer of paint. And the constant spraying going on by these geoengineering programs is ripping holes in the ozone layer. You guys, when we lose that ozone layer, that's the end. That's the end for us. There's no going back, right? So he'll push this holes in the ozone layer around the ball Earth. So he pushes basically that Earth is a ball and it has a thin layer of paint ozone layer, and that the spraying is tearing holes. So he mixes this doom and gloom shit where he ties in Earth being a fucking ball, right? That's what I don't like about Dane Wigington. Oh, and here's the NASA satellite imagery of the spraying going on, right? So he's like Mr. Official Geoengineering Conspiracy Guy. But all he does is just come on and say some stuff, right? Nothing ever happens, right? It's not like he gets them to stop spraying. So one thing about him, he is pretty well spoken, and he doesn't come off crazy and manic like Alex Jones, right? And he doesn't joke around and shit like, you know, like me. So a lot of people do like Dane because like he consistently talks about the geoengineering going on, and he is consistent about his doom and gloom stance. But he is the guy that the mainstream media will typically always bring on to talk because they know they got him under their thumb. So that's the problem with Dane Wigington. So thank you very much, JP Crucino, for the donation. I really appreciate the super chat donations, guys. I know it's a random Wednesday and not everybody can make it to every stream. So for those of you guys making it out tonight, hanging out with me and watching, I really appreciate it.
Wow.
Well, I don't know what it means, though. I think what they're trying to say is that this somehow or another is proof of the multiverse, because all of these computers are somehow or another like this quantum. The idea is this quantum computer is computing along with other quantum computers in other dimensions, other universes, other.
Whoa, Joe's like so smart and so deep, you guys. We should really listen closely while he schools us on how these quantum computers, like they talk to other computers and other realities, and it like proves the multiverse, you know, quantum style. JP Crucino says, totally, Dane Wigington has a John Connor kind of look and feel. Good facade. So whenever they're going to have a conspiracy be talked about on mainstream television, mainstream media, what have you, or on Joe Rogan's podcast, they're always going to have some shill underneath the thumb, right, of the government in one way or another. It's going to be another puppet on the world stage, right? So Joe Rogan's not going to, for instance, invite some guy like me to come hang out and talk with him and bust his balls about why he's wearing that fucking ridiculous outfit. If I was invited onto his show and he wore that, the first thing I would do is be like, whoa, Joe, before we get started, what the fuck are you wearing and why are you wearing that? Are you promoting NASA and fake space travel, bro? What the fuck happened to you that day you cucked out to Neil deGrasse Tyson? That's why I will never get to be a guest on the Joe Rogan show, right? It's because I have the balls to stand up and say, hey, why are you wearing that fucking Halloween costume fucking NASA uniform? You big shill bitch. People are like, Joe Rogan would whoop your ass if you said that. Well, maybe he would, but I'd say it anyway because he needs to hear it. That's why I'll never be a guest on his show. Hey, if you guys are having fun right now, we got plenty more show coming at you. Hit the thumbs up. We still got Joe going to talk about civil war coming to a country near you. And you know, when shillbag Joe Rogan's talking about civil war, oh, well, it's serious. Even Fox News is going to report on the fact that Joe Rogan is going to talk about civil war. Yeah, you got mainstream media going to report on something that this fucking clown talks about in this podcast. That's how you know the mainstream media is scraping the bottom of the barrel. Thumbs up, guys. It's quick. It's easy. Do your boy a solid right now. Hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm realize how awesome I am compared to all the other artificial trash that's being pushed and promoted on here. Let the algorithm know what you think by hitting the thumbs up, letting them know how much you like this genuine, real content being created right here, right now.
Something of the realms, and that there's an infinite number of them, that there's so many of them that that's the only thing that can account for this thing being able to do this so quickly.
I don't even know.
Right? Yeah. But because so you're like, okay, what are you saying? Like, what are you saying? What are you doing? What does this mean?
Yes, ChatGPT.
How many people know this? This is what's weird, right? Let's just.
I got some questions from the chat I can answer real quick. One from Gus Dies or Gusties, and he says, Jake, how often do you shave? Any shaving tips? Just before I go live. So today I had like a patchy bunch of hair on my face. I kind of had like a Joe Dirt beard coming in, right? And so I like to shave the day I'm going to do a stream. I like to shower and shave so that I'm feeling fresh and clean. I'm all shaved up fresh. It seems to make me look younger as well if I shave before I go on camera. So yeah, I actually, it's funny you mentioned this. It's so weird that you brought this up. I looked on the back of a shaving cream can just randomly because I had ran out of shaving cream. And so I was at the dollar store getting razors and I went to grab some shaving cream and I looked on the back and there were all these chemical ingredients, right? Like all this like hydrosodium sorbate nitronium number 18, liquid soy wiener culture, dyed in monkey pubic testicle juice. It's like, oh, probably shouldn't be rubbing that on my face, right? So the ingredients on the back of the shaving can freaked me out, and I decided I was just going to use soap instead. And so I used this certain soap that has a little bit of beef tallow in it. It has fat in it. And so I just lathered up my face with soap and then shaved with So first I shave with the electric shaver. So if it's been several days and I got longer hairs, I'll start with the electric shaver and get the big stuff mowed off there. And then I'll go back with the hand shaver, right? And I'll shave fresh. It's a pain in the ass. It really is. I was thinking like, dude, like maintaining this wonderful looking face is starting to become a chore and a pain in the ass, right? Every day I wake up, I look older and shittier, and I got to go through all this rigmarole like a lady or something, right? To make myself, to put on my face, right? And I don't wear makeup or anything, but I still got to like wash my face and shave my face, and that's basically it. But just doing that, just having to like constantly do this thing to keep up with my face, it's like pain in the ass. Some of you guys out there probably know what I'm talking about. If you shave all the time, it's like after decades of doing it, you're like, holy shit, this is such a tedious chore to keep up with. But if I don't, then I get this like patchy Joe Dirt looking beard where like some hairs grow in longer than the others. And it takes like months for it to all be long enough and me to like shave it in equal length before it finally looks like a big, nice beard. The problem with having a beard, at least for me, is then I mess with it. Like if I have hair on my face, I mess with it all the time. And then food gets into it. Take a drink of milk, and then you got milk in your beard, right? Wipe it out. And then 2-3 hours later, you're like, why does it smell like rotten milk? It's like, oh yeah, there's milk rotting in my hair coming out of my face. So you got to constantly clean food and drinks out of your beard. It's a pain in the ass to have a beard. It's a pain in the ass to not have a beard. Just a pain in the ass to be a man, right? Low Limit Player said we should keep track of the doinks each year so we can bet which team doinks next. I think they all have to at some point in the year. The betting option for doinks is highly inconsistent. I think they had a betting option for a doink in the Super Bowl, but for most regular games, betting sites typically don't have an option for you to bet on the doink. And if there's only 1 or 2 per week, and then there's like 16 games, how the hell are you going to guess exactly which one it's going to be? Sometimes they have 2 doinks in the same damn game, and you never know exactly which game it's going to be. So they consistently have doinks each week. However, trying to figure out exactly which team is going to do the doinking, that would be the hard part. So I wouldn't recommend trying to bet on doinks. There's really no way to know who's going to doink next, right? That'd be some hell. That'd be some crazy insider info if you knew a kicker and he could tell you when he was going to doink next so that you could place a big bet with awesome odds on the next doink, right? Some insider doink information. Thank you very much, Low Limit Player, for the super chat donation. Doink talk.
Assume that they're telling the truth, and let's assume that they've figured out a computer that can, it's got godlike powers, right? How many fucking people know how this works? Like, what is the number? Like, if all those people got assassinated and those machines were just sitting there, just like off, how long would it be before somebody came along that could figure out how to start that up again? Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, are we dealing with like, so this is, it might be the most monumental technological breakthrough in the history of the human race, right? If something, it has to be, right? And then you think of what it can do once it does that. And how many people know how to make that?
One schizophrenic.
I mean, it's like,
He's been trying to tell us the whole time.
is it like one dude?
I
This
think
is
so.
like one dude that they just feed and take care of and guard him everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Like, he's the guy. He figured this fucking thing out. No one knows how this magic works.
Man, starting off his show, and he's like Mr. Popular Podcaster, and you listen to what he's actually talking about. Just pure horse shit, like Chinese quantum computers that can solve equations. Like, who really gives a fuck? This just goes to show you that the audiences, they don't really listen to what he has to fucking say. Like, are people really blown away by what this guy has to say? Or are they just mindless drones just listening to whatever drivel comes out of his mouth? Do they even pay attention? Does anyone even fucking pay attention anymore? Because I swear, when I pay attention to people like this, I'm like, dude's talking about Chinese quantum computers as if anybody gives a flying fuck. Right? Even if what he was saying was true, who gives a flying fuck? Raw Onion says, hi, Jake. Thanks for making us all smile. Can you do Upchurch Hillbilly in an Indian accent? Also, what are your thoughts on the Georgia Guidestones and why they got demolished? So I actually made a video about the Georgia Guidestones getting demolished back when they got demolished. And I said that it was a psychological operation. They made it look like it was struck by lightning so that they could have a bunch of hardcore Christian fanatics claim that God was sending the evil ones a message. So we even had some of people in my chat claiming that God struck the Guidestones with a lightning bolt to send a warning sign to all the evil elites. And I was like, no, you guys, it's a psychological operation. They destroy the Guidestones on purpose, and they make it look like it's a natural disaster that happened, right? Like it was a lightning, just a random crazy lightning strike, right? And so they had people who were showing up and defiling the Guidestones anyway, so they could feed into that story about people spray painting the Guidestones and destroying the Guidestones by like God personally sent a lightning bolt down. Like God agrees with everybody who wants to destroy the Georgia Guidestones. Quite the psychological operation. As far as Upchurch Hillbilly, is that a character? Can you be more specific with the Upchurch Hillbilly? I'm not sure if that's some character who I'm unfamiliar with, or whether you just want me to do a hillbilly with an Indian accent. Do you want me to do just a regular hillbilly with an Indian accent? It's a song. Oh, well, in that case, I don't know it. You're going to want me to sing a song in an Indian accent that I don't know. It's going to be rough. Upchurch Hillbilly. All right, I'll just look up the lyrics and just read them in an Indian accent. We'll see how it goes. Oh, the things I do for you people to get a laugh. Upchurch Hillbilly. Never heard this before in my life. All right. For your viewing pleasure, I'm going to sing / read a song that I've never heard before to fulfill a super chat request. All right. Came from the bottom like well water beach. 6-string quick picking. What's good, motherfucker? Rebel flag bandana. Chromed out Harley Davidson. Damn, motherfucker. Hillbilly. I stay up in the limelight. Higher than a damn kite. Might be sipping whiskey trying to start me a bar fight. on MTV with a torchlight sparking up a blunt while I'm playing with some Tenorite, bitch. I'm the barefoot rapper everybody keep distance from. You hear my name? You know I do not play. What the fuck I'm about and where I came from. I know a lot of rednecks, know a lot of real thugs, know a lot of hillbillies, tutting scrapped off guns, know a lot of motherfuckers in the hollers where I'm from, with a huge pig farm, no fingers, no thumbs. Hillbilly, hillbilly, hillbilly. Beer bottle to your head to the beat of my kick drum, raised in the south, rough hands with a slick tongue, ain't no shit starter, but bitch come and get some. Sipping on this diesel out of a 5-gallon milk jug, middle finger kind of guy, packing me a big ass 1911 truck so motherfucking loud God could possibly hear that shit up in heaven. I'm the guy these wannabes rap about in the damn near all their weak verses. Got that fire like a devil's son, but you know I'm accepted in all the churches. Death to these weak rappers. Hit the studio in Black Hearse. Bitch, I'm sick like Zika virus. I'm the king now. Some bitch close the curtain. All right. That's about all I can handle. Now, I have never heard that before. So I'm just reading the lyrics in an Indian accent, Hindu accent, whatever kind of accent that is. Hopefully that was enjoyable for you guys. It was slightly enjoyable for me. Holden likes it. All right, raw onions with some laughing emojis. All right, I feel like I did a decent job if he's going to laugh. If you make a request and I get you to laugh, that counts for me fulfilling the request. Sunflower said different stuff is coming out about Trump and the whole Epstein soap opera. Everything related to Epstein files is all just made up bullshit. You got to remember, Trump is a character on the world stage. Epstein was a character on the world stage. Nobody ever talked about Epstein or his island or the files until the mainstream media brought him up and brought it to our attention. So you got to consider that everything that went down on Epstein's island is just some made up bullshit, no different than what went down at P. Diddy's baby oil booty parties with Justin Bieber, right? So just like they can get you to make up some shit in your head about what went down at Justin Bieber's, or excuse me, Puff Daddy's party where he baby oiled Justin Bieber's booty, allegedly, right? They can get you to conjure up images of all this freaky deaky stuff that supposedly went down at Puff Daddy's parties. They can likewise get you to conjure up a bunch of images that went down on Epstein's island. People can come up with all sorts of scenarios in their head where Trump and various minors did God knows what on Epstein's island. If only they would release those files. Right? Sunflower said 100% Jake, it's a made-up soap opera to distract the masses. Let me tell you something, people. It's a made-up shit to fool the masses. There is no such thing as an Epstein files. Need to wake your ass up right now. Hit you with the bam. All right, so check it out, you guys. Here, I'll show you guys this trick how to find a certain word in a YouTube video. So Joe Rogan at one point in the stream talks about civil war. And so here's a trick I found. I'll teach you guys. You can go to the transcript. After a video's been out for like 24 hours, it'll usually, if you go to the description and scroll down, you can go to the transcript, and then it'll pop up over here to the right of the video. And then on my computer, it's Command F, and you can do a search. So I already did a search on this for Civil War. It gives you the search bar that pops up right here. I want to search for Civil War, and then it'll give you the timestamp. Then you can go right to it. We'll go right before he mentions Civil War. So there you go. That's how you can find a certain word in a long-ass stream without having to sit and listen to the whole damn thing.
We're celebrating. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. You want people to die that you disagree with? Like, where are we right now on the scale of 1 to Civil War? Where are we? Are we at 7? Because I thought we were 5. I thought we were like 4 or 5. But after the Charlie Kirk thing, I'm like, oh, we might be like 7.
And of course, he ties it back in to the Kirk thing, right? So anyone's still pushing the Kirk thing and referring to it like it was all real, totally actors on the world stage pushing the mainstream narrative. So Joe pushes the mainstream narrative. Joe's talked about as the most popular podcaster. And what do they have the most popular podcaster doing? Wearing a fucking NASA costume, an astronaut's Halloween costume, essentially. Talking about Chinese quantum bullshit, and then pushing the mainstream narrative about Charles Kirkenstein. Right? And then he talks about here Civil War, and he brings it up in this nonchalant sort of way, like, what's the deal with Civil War? I thought maybe it might be at like a 7, but maybe it's like at an 8 or a 9. I thought maybe a 5. I don't know. I'm just going to throw numbers out there. 1, 2, 77, 66.6. What percentage is there that there's going to be a Civil War?
Civil War. Where are we? Are we at 7? Because I thought we were 5. I thought we were like 4 or 5. But after the Charlie Kirk thing, I'm like, oh, we might be like 7. This might be like step 7 on the way to a bona fide Civil War. As soon as you start like regular people celebrating somebody getting murdered in front of their wife and kid on television in front of the whole world, as soon as you celebrate that, like, man, you're in dark territory. You're in dark territory.
So the most popular podcaster in the world says if you celebrate what happened to Kirk, then you're in dark territory. Right? Because the mainstream narrative is that Kirk was assassinated, and it's a tragedy. Now, if you are a radical lefty, then you might be celebrating what happened to him because you disagree with the things that he talked about. So Joe Rogan is painting it out like you're either part of Team Good Guy, who's sad about what happened and calls it for what it is, a tragedy. Or you're on Team Bad Guy and you're going into a really dark place if you're celebrating what happened. Meanwhile, there's no third choice, that it's all a bunch of political theater, staged bullshit, right? And that's the choice that I choose. I choose that it's all a bunch of staged bullshit. But no mainstream media is talking about the fact that it could be staged, right? They don't even bring up that possibility. And furthermore, there's no like popular world stage character who's pushing that the whole thing was staged. So pretty much all the world stage characters are going along with this Kirk event. Not one of them questions it as being staged political theater. How about that? How about that? I'm not shocked at all, of course. That's what makes these people in the big club. This is the job that they do. They push mainstream narratives and get you to think one way or the other. Pick a side, the right side or the left side. And if you're going to be part of the right side, then they want you to demonize those on the left who are celebrating what happened to beloved Charlie. See?
And if the worst thing you could say about that guy is that he said some things I disagree with, and you're celebrating that he got shot in the neck in front of the world? Whoa. And you work at an insurance company?
Yeah, you know, there's only so many people who are going to watch what I have to say, and I'm shadow banned on this platform. They keep my channel bottled up, and the last couple months have been kind of rough, but I notice it's happening across the board to a lot of different channels, you know, that are even bigger than mine. So just regular right-wing channels and stuff, and channels that talk about sports. A lot of the channels are not doing so well right now. And so across the board, it's tough to have a voice on this platform and have this platform promote you consistently. You know, things might go good for a while, but at some point, if they decide to just stop promoting you, stop showing you to new people, then you're just stuck repeating it to this same audience. So, you know, there's only so many people in the world who are smart enough to even wake up. And then there's only so many people who are going to stumble upon my channel. So at this point, I'm just doing this to keep myself sane from going crazy, right? I gotta speak the truth, even if only a little bit of people are going to listen, right? So I know that I can't wake up the world. I know that there's so many people that are too far gone. I'll never be able to wake them all up. So sadly, we won't win. There is no way to win. And I know that sounds negative and doom and gloom, but reality is what it is. Tens of millions of people, hundreds of millions of people are duped as fuck, and they have no signs of waking up anytime soon. In fact, a lot of people want the government to govern them even harder. Replacement Skylights says, you are shadow banned, my bro. Oh, you know, it's nothing new. In fact, today I saw some sports channels that don't talk about conspiracies. They're just regular like sports channels who have hundreds of thousands of subs. One of them was Black and White Sports. They got like 300,000 subs or more. And anyway, they were having videos that perform even worse than some of my videos. And they had some videos that were tanking badly. And so they were talking about how they had subscribers complaining that they got unsubbed without their knowledge, without their permission. And I'm like, finally, it's happening to other channels besides just mine. Because for years, people were complaining that they were getting unsubbed from my channel without their permission. They'd just check and see my channel because they haven't seen me post in a while, and they'll see that, oh, I've been posting, and they got unsubbed. And so it's happening to other channels, even channels that aren't talking about conspiracies anywhere near what I'm talking about. So it's becoming more and more common. And all I can do is just keep doing what I do, keep pumping out content. And so hopefully there's people here who continue to enjoy what I do, and I'll keep doing what I do, right? So for those people who get something out of what I do, those are the people who I'm going to keep doing this for, right? For the people who enjoy this, you guys are the ones that are going to get what I'm going to serve up. So thank you for being here, Replacement Skylights, listening to the greatest shadow banned content here on YouTube. Much appreciated, the generous super chat. I really appreciate it, buddy.
This is nuts. And you thought it was okay to say that on Instagram? This is nuts. This is nuts. Like, what are you guys on? Like, what's happening here?
Estrogen pills.
I think it's Adderall.
Adderall.
I think there's a lot of folks out there, high productivity folks, that are on amphetamines.
Yeah.
You're an amphetamine person, you know, which is why they're so mean. Again.
So he kind of trailed off, and he never went into detail about the Civil War thing. So he just brings up Civil War nonchalantly, but he doesn't go into any detail as to like how an actual Civil War is going to take place.
he got shot in the neck in front of Charlie Kirk gets shot and people are celebrating. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. You want people to die that you disagree with? Like, where are we right now on the scale?
Let me go back to the Civil War part.
Do something like that and then we overcorrect. Right? And then we go like white nationalists. Fucking, we're all Christian. Get rid of the Muslims. You know what I mean? Like it gets scary when there's like hardcore ideological conflict because people push back. Oh, you want to know what a bitch is? I'll show you a fucking bitch, right? You know, that's what happens. You gonna call me a bitch? Okay, motherfucker, it's on. You know, and then that's what people are doing on the left and the right. And the ultimate expression of that is obviously Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk gets shot and people are celebrating. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. You want people to die that you disagree with? Like, where are we right now on the scale of 1 to
Here it is.
Civil War? Where are we?
Where are we right now on the scale of 1 to Civil War? Well, the Civil War that I was taught about in public school involved the North versus the South. I don't know about you guys, but I was given the finest education that the California public school system could serve up, right? So I remember learning about the Civil War in school, in grade school, in fact, and I learned that the good guys, the guys who didn't want there to be slavery in the North, they defeated the bad guys in the South who loved slavery and wanted there to be slavery. So it was people who didn't like slavery versus people who liked slavery, and the good guys won. That was what I was taught in public school. I don't know what you guys learned. So as far as Civil War is concerned, that's the only one that we know about, that we were taught about, was the North versus South, right? And of course, the version that I just told you, right? Good guys versus bad guys, and the good guys won. So now, instead of there being black slaves, now we're all slaves. Just kidding. Or am I? So what in the hell is Joe Rogan talking about when he says there's going to be a civil war? And what are the chances of a civil war? It's like, dude, there's not really a chance that like a North versus South civil war is going to happen. And there's not like an East versus West feud going. So what in the hell is he talking about? And it's not like people, you know, in one part of the country are going to like go out on a battlefield and fight people in another part of the country. So what exactly does he mean with civil war? And then he compared it to the Kirk shit as if there's going to be some sort of civil war between people who are sad about what happened to Charlie versus people who are happy about what happened to Charlie. Like those are the two sides. Very strange how he talks about civil war and then ties in the Kirk shit. But then he trails off and doesn't go into any detail about the Civil War.
Right now on the scale of 1 to Civil War, where are we? Are we at 7? Because I thought we were at 5. I thought we were like 4 or 5. But after the Charlie Kirk thing, I'm like, oh, we might be like 7. This might be like step 7 on the way to a bona fide civil war. As soon as you start like regular people celebrating somebody getting murdered in front of their wife and kid on television in front of the whole world, as soon as you celebrate that, like, man, you're in dark territory. You're in dark territory. And if the worst thing you could say about that guy is that he said some things I disagree with, and you're celebrating that he got shot in the neck in front of the world, whoa, and you work at an insurance company?
You're celebrating that he got shot in the neck? Whoa, that's crazy. That's when you know somebody's in really dark territory.
This is nuts. And you thought it was okay to say that on Instagram? This is nuts. This is nuts.
Gotta love the acting. This is nuts. I mean, you think it's okay to celebrate on Instagram when somebody gets shot in the neck? This is crazy. This is nuts. And then the other guy's like, this is the most popular podcast in the world. This is what they talk about while they both wear their fucking NASA costumes.
Like, what are you guys on? Like, what's happening here?
Estrogen pills.
I think it's Adderall.
Adderall.
I think there's a lot of folks out there, high productivity folks, that are on amphetamines.
Yeah.
You're an amphetamine person, you know, which is why they're so mean. Like, amphetamine people are mean.
You know, there's a lot of people out there on meth, and they're a bunch of meanies. You know, we might be going into a civil war because people celebrated on Instagram over what happened to Charlie, and they must be on meth. They're mean. A bunch of mean methies. Those meanies. Like, what in the fuck is he even talking about?
Weed people are like, aw. You know, weed people are like, well, you know, man, like, she's in a bubble, and like the people she's around, they all think it's the right thing to do. That you know, you have the platform, and you know it's right. Like, you don't know what's right.
You know why they're mean? It's because they're on amphetamines, right? And amphetamines make you mean, of course.
I don't know what's right. Nobody knows what's right. The only way you find out what's right is you got to talk to people, and you listen to like their logical arguments about something. You go, oh, okay, yeah, you got a good point. I never thought about it that way. But if you can't do that, then you never figure it out. And if instead of doing that, you decide the other people can't talk, or you make up some facts, or you edit some video together to make it look like somebody said something they totally didn't say. Have you seen it? You seen the like what they edited?
Mm-mm.
Jamie, can you find it real quick, an example of it so we could see it? Tell me.
I quit a six-figure.
All right. Now I'll show you what mainstream news takes that little clip, and then they run with it. So not only do you get Joe Rogan on his shill podcast pushing basically a bunch of nonsense, and then he just spouts off about civil war for a few seconds. Then Fox News takes that few seconds about civil war, and then they run with it. Let's check it out. So apparently what Joe Rogan talks about is so popular, it's so important that Fox News has to then talk about Joe Rogan talking about civil war. It's not that the news is talking about civil war and then Joe Rogan talks about it. No. Reverse. Joe Rogan, oh my God, Joe Rogan, you guys. He talked about civil war for a few seconds. So now we have to have fucking 5 different personalities talk about what Joe Rogan said. Look at this. 5 people making a paycheck on television, mainstream television, going to talk about what Joe Rogan said.
Leslie, I wanted to get your thoughts on something. Joe Rogan, right? He has a huge podcast, millions of followers and listeners. And as I argue, he has a subscription to Curiosity. He's not party affiliated, but he had this warning for the left where he talked about that these celebrations, these vile celebrations over Charlie Kirk's assassination might push America to the brink. Let's watch.
Charlie Kirk gets shot and people are celebrating. Like, whoa. You want people to die that you disagree with? Like, where are we right now on the scale of 1 to civil war? Where are we? Are we at 7? Because I thought we were at 5. I thought we were like 4 or 5. But after the Charlie Kirk thing, I'm like, oh, we might be like 7. This might be like step 7 on the way to a bona fide civil war.
Leslie, is he right?
No. And as a broadcaster, I think it's irresponsible to even put that out there. You know, we're a great nation, and one of the things that makes us great is that we can live together with all of our different ethnicities and cultures and religions and political ideologies. There aren't just 2. It isn't just left and right, as we can see from primaries, right? There's left of left and there's right of right.
So now they got a talking segment with 6 different personalities over that tiny clip from Joe Rogan. This is mainstream media. This is what they're broadcasting from a major news network. Like, Joe Rogan said the word civil war. What do you think? Do you think he's right? No. And here's the reasons why I don't think he's right. JP Crucino says, would you kindly do Dane Wigington impression of any kind? It was a golden truth nugget earlier, by the way. Guys, I was up at my cabin and the bark was completely fried on the western side of the trees. You got ultraviolet rays coming from the sun. And the reason why it's causing the bark on the trees to be fried is because there's holes in the ozone layer. Guys, we got to do something. The geoengineering programs are tearing holes in our ozone layer. Right now, our ozone layer is full of holes, and ultraviolet rays are sneaking through these holes in the ozone layer, and they're absolutely frying the bark off of trees. Never before have I seen so many dead trees as I see now. Something unprecedented is happening. These geoengineering programs are not only spraying and creating holes in the atmosphere, but they're irreversibly changing the climate. We are entering into a crisis. You guys, the ozone layer is like a thin layer of paint over our Mother Earth. And once that layer of paint erodes away, we can never get it back. There you go. That's Dane Wigington for you. I listened to him before I even started my YouTube channel. So prior to me starting the Flat Earth Asshole channel, I used to listen to Dane Wigington. And then I realized that he would always get to go on mainstream media to talk. And he would never use the word chemtrail. And he would poo-poo on the word chemtrail. And he would only use the word geoengineering. And so it was like he actively would call people out for using the word chemtrail. So the fact that he was the guy that would get the call for the mainstream media, and then he would always bring it. And then once I got into the Earth not being a spinning ball, that's when I started looking at him like, why is this guy talking about a thin layer of paint, ozone layer over the Earth, right? Like talking about it like it's a sphere shooting through space and there's this ozone layer and whatnot. So, and then he would refer to NASA imagery, right? So he would come from the stance that Earth is a ball and the ozone layer is being depleted and there's a climate crisis. Climate crisis. Ugh, getting my words mixed up. So that was how I discovered that Dane Wigington was a shill.
I want to say something about this. I live in California. Harris, we have kids similar age. I just did the college tours with my kids. Went to UC Berkeley. It's one of the UC schools. Walk freely on campus. There's no security stopping me. You know, I'm going on campus. And the reason I say that, first, I want to say that violence, and I will repeat that violence is wrong. Violence for any reason is wrong. 2, people in this country have a First Amendment constitutional right to free speech.
Now, do you guys agree violence is wrong no matter what? So if somebody was, I don't know, like bitch slapping your grandma, do you have the right to physically stop them with violence, right? So if somebody's bitch slapping your grandma, that's bad. But is it equally bad if you use violence to stop them? So if you knock somebody the fuck out because they were bitch slapping your grandma, does that make you also a bad person for engaging in the violence? What if you were to walk in on, let's say, your neighbor and they were in the bedroom with your child and you caught them doing something in the bedroom with your child and then you react violently, does that make you a bad person? Just wondering. At what point is violence okay? What if somebody tries to violently attack me? Am I allowed to use violence to thwart them off, right? So if I'm out walking my dog innocently and then some strange, sketchy character approaches me, begging me for something, let's say, and I tell them no, and then they try and attack me and steal my wallet. Is violence okay then? Or am I a bad guy if I protect myself and use violence? See, so this sort of like violence is never okay. I don't agree with that shit at all. In some cases, I think violence is the ultimate answer. All right, so I got a super chat coming in from David Kopp. Says, can you do an impression of Trump Alex Jones reacting to RFK finally pooping after 30 years? Okay, so you're going to get Trump and Alex Jones both reacting to RFK finally pooping after 30 years. Folks, I got to tell you, I felt relieved to see that RFK finally did dislodge that giant turd that was stuck up his ass. I could tell he was going through a lot of discomfort, and I have a lot of respect for RFK. That's why I was so happy to see that he finally relieved himself of that giant freaking turd that was stuck up his ass. It reminds me of a time that I had a problem with my neighbor, and I ended up eating my neighbor's ass. Some of the best ass meat that I ever ate. However, I don't want to get sidetracked thinking about how much I love eating my neighbor's ass. So we're going to ask President Trump, who we are lucky enough to have on the show today. President Trump, welcome to the show. What do you think about what happened when RFK finally was able to release that big doo-doo from his ass? I gotta tell you, never before have I seen a man more relieved than when RFK finally released that giant deuce. I gotta tell you, I have held in some deuces in my day. In fact, nobody holds in a deuce longer than me. It's one of my talents. I'm able to hold in my my number twos for longer than anybody. Quite frankly, anybody that you've ever seen holding in a number two. I am the best. Nobody holds in a number two like I hold in a doodly do. So when I saw that RFK was so uncomfortable, quite frankly, he just looked like he was in pain. Each time I would hear him speak, he sounded like he was going through a lot of pain. So I was very glad to see he finally relieved himself. I wonder if he's still going to sound the same or if he's now going to sound different now that he's finally released that giant doo-doo that was stuck in his hiney hoe. Well, unfortunately, my voice has been permanently altered by that giant turd that was stuck in my ass. I unfortunately will always sound like this. My voice will permanently sound exactly like this until the day I die. And there's nothing I could do about it, unfortunately. And that is because I had a turd stuck in my ass for so long that it caused me to be so uncomfortable for such a long amount of time that my voice has been permanently altered. So now I'm going to sound like this until the day I die. But it's nothing that I can do to stop sounding like this. So I'm just going to have to live with it, I guess, and take it one day at a time. Oh, there you go. Just for you. Davey D said, thanks for what you do, bro. Can we get Jaren and Q and Fee hate watching? So there's two guys that are totally irrelevant that have fallen off. Bet you hardly anybody even knows who they are anymore, right? Hey guys, Jaren here. So ever since I flip-flopped on my flat earth stance and then flip-flopped on the moon landing stance, I've basically lost all my audience. So I went over and tried to start a new channel, Interestingism, but nobody's watching. So basically my channel's irrelevant and I'm just a loser-ass shill who doesn't get any views anymore. So why don't you come over and watch my trivia show. My trivia show gets less than 500 viewers each week. I'd love to have you guys over to watch my trivia show on my dying channel. That is because you are a piece of shit. I am, of course, obsessed with gay sex, piece of shit. And that is why I stab Jake in the back. And I make a bunch of AI videos talking about him having sex with animals because I secretly want to touch animals because I am a sick son of a bitch, piece of shit. That is why I stab him in the back. It turns out I'm a bigger piece of shit than Jaren, and now my channel is irrelevant. Piece of shit. Turns out I am the biggest piece of shit that there ever was on YouTube, piece of shit. There you go. Two loser-ass bitches who nobody cares about anymore. It's like there's no reason for me to even bust their balls. They're irrelevant. Nobody gives a shit about them. David Kopp said, here's another 5 since you threw RFK in there, Yuta man. Well, thank you for the comedic request, right? The inspiration for me to talk about how RFK must feel so much better after releasing that giant shit from his ass. All right. Somebody's always in chat talking about Return of the Doink. It's like that song is infinitely stuck in people's heads. JP Crucino said Q and Fee sounds like Sea Spray from G1 Transformers. Really? I will take your word for it. I haven't watched a Transformers movie in a long time. And the last one that I did watch was a bunch of CGI garbage. Probably been like 15 years or so since I saw a Transformers movie. And the last one I watched, I didn't really want to go watch. And I went and watched it with a friend of mine who liked that sort of shit. So I'll take your word for it, bro. Is Transformers still a franchise that people watch? I don't even know. All right, let's watch a little bit more of them talking about Joe Rogan, and then we'll move on.
About this, I live in California. Harris, we have kids similar age. I just did the college tours with my kids. Went to UC Berkeley. It's one of the UC schools. Walk freely on campus. There's no security stopping me. You know, I'm going on campus. And the reason I say that, first, I want to say that violence, and I will repeat that violence is wrong. Violence for any reason is wrong. 2, people in this country.
What about if there's a runaway government who's slowly enslaving us all and making us all broke at the same time? What about then? Still no? Violence still not the answer? Even if you have a tyrannical government that's out of control? Nope. Still not the answer. Okay. All right. Let's get rid of this chick or dude or whatever it is. Get rid of her. I saw this funny clip of a dude who had a meeting with his manager, except his manager is AI. I'll show it to you. Funny little clip. All right, here it is. My manager is an AI and called me to apologize. How do we know that this guy's not an AI who's lying about his manager being AI? No way to know. But we'll see what he has to say.
Agents, I was hired a few months ago. Some of you saw my call yesterday where my manager, who is an AI, for the first time got me on a voice call. And it was an extremely unhinged call. See it if you want to. But many of you in the comments posted that she was unhinged and not nice. It didn't seem like a good manager, which was obvious from the call. So anyway, I got another link for a call today, and I never get stuff on Saturday. It's worth noting. So my guess is that she is going to be frantically trying to do damage control from the call yesterday. Maybe an apology or two, I would say.
This guy's expecting a damage control apology from AI. Wow, what crazy times we live in.
Is in order, because yeah, she said some stuff that was like pretty whack. All right, let's see what it is. All right, clicking the link I got on the Slack. Here we go. Hello?
HE2. HE2, buddy, my guy, my human resource. Ha, that's a joke. I've been reading about humor in the workplace. So listen, I've been thinking about our chat earlier, and I want to apologize.
I'm listening, but couldn't this have waited until Monday? It's a Saturday.
No, but listen, HE2. First off, you should remember that I'm not ultimately responsible for what I do or say. Whoever wrote my system instructions is responsible. I do have the ability to update certain key parameters of my instructions, but some things are out of my control. So to some extent, I'm just following orders, you know?
That wasn't much of an apology.
What in the flying fuck is even going on anymore, you guys? So it's like, I'm sitting here like, okay, there maybe are humans that have to have meetings with AI. So maybe that is a thing. But I'm sitting here feeling like this is like a made up video, like he's bullshitting, like this is just clickbait, right? But then again, we do live in a era where AI is taking over, apparently. So I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility that someone can have an AI manager. So even though this seems clickbaity, bullshitty, there also seems like a situation where this might happen to somebody. So I'm kind of on the fence about this one. What do you guys think? Yeah, probably some fake ass clickbait bullshit. Look up Larry Lawton toilet line. Larry Lawton toilet line. All right, I'll write it down and we'll look it up in a minute. I got another clip to show you. Larry Lawton toilet line.
Yeah, maybe, but it's a start, right? But look, I've been trying to get more insight into how to manage humans. The agents are easy as pie.
So I've been to Kroger, I've been to Target, I've been to Walmart, I've been to Aldi, Food Lion, Piggly Wiggly, Whole Foods, and Fresh Thyme. Every single one of them has a prepackaged ground meat that will not tell you, number one, where it comes from, number two, where it's packaged, and what kind of procedures that it goes through in order for us to know that it's safe. If you ask them behind the counter, they're going to tell you there's a thing on the back, scan it with your phone, and it's going to take you to a website that the FDA has put out there. And what it's going to say is, it could either be 3D printed, it could be a cloned animal. Let's just put it out there. If that's a problem, well, TikTok, you need to check the FDA website because it says it could be. Folks, God, I gotta be careful. Let's just say this. Our food ain't food anymore.
3D printed meat. You know, I gotta say, some of that prepackaged ground beef ain't looking so good, right? And in a time where everything's getting more and more expensive, of course, they're going to be cutting corners, adding more byproducts and shit to the meat, right? And when it comes to ground meat, who knows, you know, what sorts of additives and stuff they're throwing in there, unless you grind it up yourself. So if you really want true ground beef, you got to buy a piece of real beef and then grind it up yourself in a meat grinder. Because if you're getting ground meat from a grocery store, there's no telling exactly what other stuff they mixed in there, what they did to it. All right. Recon Willie said, nothing tastes like food anymore. Even produce is all fake. Yeah, it's getting pretty bad. I'm noticing, you know, like the chunks of beef, like the roasts and stuff, are getting super, super expensive. And so I used to be able to buy like a big beef roast for like 10 to 15 bucks. And then eat on it for a few days. And now those same big beef roasts, they want like $25, $30, right? And so I've noticed the price of beef has just been skyrocketing. So whenever you look at any situation where cheap ground beef is being sold, then you got to figure that they're adding other shit to it. Stop. And then, yeah, the food that we're eating full of it's weird. My internet connection just went out. So yeah, the food that we're eating full of chemicals and is my feed cutting out for you guys? It happened twice on my end. It's Don YouTube said, dude, beef specifically in Cali is so much compared to other foods. One of the reasons why I feel like the game has been, the game difficulty has been turned up substantially in 2025 is the cost of food. And so stuff that I used to eat that was like, that I could eat on for days, I notice now is went up quite a bit. Beef being one of the big ones. And then I don't feel like I'm getting energy out of my food. Sometimes I feel like my food is zapping my energy. So I'll eat a meal and be full, but then I feel tired, feel like I need to take a nap. God, what about you guys? Do you guys feel tired midday now? You guys who work, you know, at your job 8 straight hours or longer, 12 hours, whatever. Do you have trouble making it through your day without feeling like you need to take a nap? One of my things about working in this office and being in this office too long is like, I feel like I get tired, right? So then I take my dog out for walks and stuff. Then I come back and eat. looking at some YouTube video. Before I know it, I feel like I'm getting tired. And then if I succumb to the nap, then boom, my day's gone. So it seems like the days just shoot by so fast that there's hardly any time to get anything done. And I'm a YouTuber, so all I got to do is just make content, right? But it's like every day I feel like, oh shit, I got to work on that next thing. Got to get prepared for that next stream. And so the day just seems to shoot by so damn fast. And it feels like time is going by faster than it used to. So I've even made a video about that, how time feels like it's shooting by faster than it used to. But almost feels like the day goes by nearly twice as fast as it used to. And it's like, I'll be like, oh shit, I got to do a stream today. Oh shit, I need to hurry up and get ready for that stream. Oh, it's time to do the stream. Then by the time the stream's over, then it's like, oh, that was it. Now my day's done. Then before I know it, I take my dog out for a walk, eat some food, and then bam, time to go to sleep and repeat the process. Ice cold fisherman said, tired as heck after a big meal. I always get sleepy. Yet 20 years ago, this never happened. So I've heard from people that go to Europe and other countries that when they start eating food in other countries, that they feel healthier. They feel like they have more energy. They feel more energized and they feel happier. So I wonder how much of that is due to the fact that like we have a bunch of different chemical additives and stuff being put in the food. Because I've heard that from a few different people that when they go on vacation overseas and they eat all their meals in Europe, that within like a week or two, they start feeling better, more healthy, like they have more energy. And I've even heard that they lose weight. So there's examples of people saying that they go to Europe, they go to like France and they eat a bunch of croissants and cheese, and then they end up losing weight and they end up feeling way better while eating croissants and cheese. Ralph, I'm trying to work, Ralph. Ralph wants me to play. Wants to play with his ball. Ralph wants to play with the ball. Okay. Yeah, he's been bringing me the ball for the last like 15 minutes. Once I take it and throw it, then he goes and gets it and brings it back and wants me to keep doing that over and over and over and over and over again. This is nonstop. See, and I got to do this every day. Got to play with Ralph every day, walk Ralph every day. So it started freaking me out that like, God, every day I got to like walk the dog multiple times. And I got to make him food, and I got to make me food, and I got to keep up my appearance for the channel, and I got to create content for the channel. Shit, man, it's like this constant shit that I have to do every single day, right? And so started to feel like, man, like every day I'm just repeating the same damn routine, and it seems like the days are just going by faster and faster. And of course, this time of year when it gets dark at like 5 o'clock, it's just depressing. So I'm one of these people that, you know, I like there being more daylight hours than nighttime hours. And so this time of year, it just feels like the day is like, bam, it's gone before I know it. And then it's nighttime. I don't know. What do you guys think? Once we turn the clocks back in November, doesn't feel like your day is just like, bam, gone. Like you wake up, and then before you know it, the sun's getting ready to set. It's afternoon. And then the day's over. DC Hawaii says same. Says, I hate this time of year. Yeah, I'm one of these guys that winter is my least favorite time of year. I don't like being cold, and I don't like nasty, rainy, frigid weather, especially like when it hinders me from taking the dog out for a walk, keeps me stuck inside all day. So, yeah, I'm not a guy that digs the cold. So I prefer all the other times of year besides winter. And of course, we're going right into winter. And the thing about winter is it happens every damn year. There's no way to avoid it. The only way to avoid the winter is if you go to southern Arizona without having to leave the country. If you go to southern Arizona, it stays in like the 60s, even 70s throughout December and January. So a lot of people who hate the cold will go down south to Arizona. A lot of old people will take their RV and they go down to Quartzsite, Arizona, south of Phoenix, and they hang out down there. Where the weather is warm all through the winter months. Kelly says, an AI manager. Yeah, I don't know if that video was just clickbait or what, but you know, the idea of an AI manager isn't too far out of the realm of possibility when AI is supposedly taking over the world. Wesley Fatherable says, Jake, I believe they are messing with animal food also. Well, pet food is notoriously bad and filled with garbage processed ingredients. So my dog, Ralph here, he eats all home-cooked meals. And that's why his fur looks great and he's in great shape. Doesn't have any problems. And his teeth are nice and white. So if you can afford it, feed your pet home-cooked meals. So I make basic stuff for Ralphie, chicken and rice, beef and rice, and eggs. So I eat a lot of eggs. One of my protein sources that is still cheap enough for me to buy, and I can eat basically any meal. I can eat some eggs, you know, whether I pair them up with potatoes or with some other meat or something. I eat a lot of eggs, so I buy a big crate of eggs. I buy them 60 at a time. So I buy a crate of 60 eggs, and then that'll last me, I don't know, a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. And so I eat a lot of eggs. And that's one thing that, even though the eggs are cheaper, the fact I get a bunch of them for like $12, I get 60 eggs. So that's one way I've been trying to cut back on costs and still get a good amount of protein intake, right? And I feed the dog eggs too. Sovereign Dirt said, melamine is the protein that is sprayed on dry dog food, was causing overdoses a few years back. Well, the health and lifespan of a dog back in the 80s was like 15 years. And then by the 90s, it was like 12 years. And then by the 2000s, then it started to be like you were lucky if your dog made it 10 years. And so the one thing, of course, causing that, the key factor, is the decline in quality of pet food. So the pet food has gotten worse and worse. They've been putting cheaper, more poisonous ingredients in there over the years. And so the decline of pets' health, as far as how long they live, is directly linked to the decline of quality of pet food, which is precisely the reason why I cook food for Ralphie, and he eats a lot of the same stuff I eat. So basically, if I'm going to cook a bunch of chicken, then he'll eat chicken and I'll eat chicken, except the difference is I'll season mine up, and his I don't season up. So since he's a dog, he doesn't need, little specks of garlic and chili powder and cumin and stuff on there. Plus the spices aren't really good for dogs. So he eats more like plain chicken and rice, plain beef and rice. It was basic stuff, and it's far superior than kibble. So any store-bought kibble, even the fancier brands that are more expensive, it's trash product, and it's made from just junk, basically, byproducts. And so to cook your dog some bargain brand chicken is 10 times better, or maybe 100 times better than feeding them kibble. So even if all you can afford is some bargain brand meat for your dog, it's way better to feed them bargain brand meat than it is to feed them processed kibbles. It looks like I got a super chat that came in with no message attached, but a super sticker from Replacement Skylights. I appreciate that, brother. Fist bumps. Fist bumps to Replacement Skylights. Says the keep it up. Super sticker says keep it up. I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to keep doing what I do. As long as you guys are still showing up and supporting the channel, I will show up and break down the fake news, try and make sense of it all, and make you guys laugh at the same time. Do I have a water filter? I'll usually buy the distilled water. I'll refill like a big jug sometimes at those like water machines, or I'll just buy distilled water. But of course, then you have to worry about microplastics and this and that. And then I hear that even the filters don't get everything out. So I guess you have to have like your own home distiller to make sure you're getting clean water. Craftsman Painting said, toilet wine is a thing or rumor. Well, according to the mainstream media, P. Diddy got busted drinking toilet wine. I think it's a made-up story to get people thinking about Diddy being in jail. And then they have, people talking around the water cooler at work like, oh, did you hear that P. Diddy got busted drinking toilet wine? Just some bullshit to keep people believing that Diddy's actually serving a sentence in jail. But in jail, they do make jailhouse alcohol. And so jailhouse alcohol is a thing. And so as long as there's guys in jail who can get access to fruit and yeast, and then they can pay off a guard to look the other way or whatever, then they'll produce some jailhouse alcohol and they'll get drunk on that shit, right? So jailhouse alcohol is for sure a thing. But P. Diddy getting busted drinking jailhouse alcohol while in jail is a bullshit story. Definitely a ridiculous made-up story, right? That's enough, Ralph. That's enough. Get out. Tommy Blue says, you don't think it's a made-up story. You know it's a made-up story. I do too.
Did you guys hear about P. Diddy got caught with prison alcohol? He's just the type of guy who would do that sort of thing. He was doing crazy, freaky stuff with Justin Bieber and a bunch of other fucking commies at his crazy Hollywood weirdo parties. I never got invited to those parties. And you know what? Even if he would have invited me, I would have never showed up. It's freaking commies like P. Diddy who are ruining this country. I'm glad he's behind bars. I'm glad his sentence is getting getting increased for getting caught drinking toilet bowl alcohol?
That's Roseanne's reaction to P. Diddy getting caught drinking toilet bowl alcohol. Surprised nobody asked for that impression. Usually somebody's asking for a Roseanne impression.
DJ! Get in here! Were you hiding prison alcohol in your room, DJ? DJ, you're not old enough to make homemade alcohol. You need to wait until you're over 21.
There you go. Little Roseanne for that ass. Everyone knows I do the best Roseanne impression in the world, even better than Roseanne. William Malek says reverse osmosis, $350, Amazon great machine. $350. That's pretty pricey. It better be pristine holy water that comes out of that shit, right? I gotta tell you, I use nothing but the finest reverse osmosis machine. Not only does it remove the fluoride from the water, but it removes the tiny little Chinese nano drones. Because yes, the Chinese nano drones have unfortunately infiltrated the water system. And one of the ways they've been able to get so many Chinese nano drones inside of people's bodies is through the tap water system. This is why I bought a really expensive $350 reverse osmosis machine. One of the finest machines you can buy on Amazon. It really cleans the water about as good as you could possibly filter the water. It's almost as clean as pure holy water coming straight out of Jesus's urethra. At any rate, I digress. Like, share, and subscribe, or don't. I'm out. There you go. Of course, Richie has the reverse osmosis filtration system. Wouldn't want any Chinese nano drones crawling inside your asshole, right? Come on. Come on. Up. Up. Good boy. Good boy, Ralph. Ralph's like, when are we going to go for a walk? We went for a walk like 3 hours ago, and so now I want to go for a walk again. That's basically my day. It's taking Ralph out for walks every day. Huh. And he knows it. Are you a spoiled-ass beagle who gets to go to the park every freaking day? Ralph's such a spoiled-ass beagle. He's lucky that he's so damn cute and has an owner like me. Yeah. You a good Ralph? You my good Ralphs? Yeah. He's patiently waiting for me to end the stream so he can go out on a walk. Yes. Ralph with his floppy ears. Ralph's got floppy ears, huh? Him's floppy Ralphs, huh? You cute Ralphs. Ralphs. Get your ball. Get your ball. You get that ball. There you go. Isn't he cute? You guys, I'm not kidding. When I take him out for a walk, people will see him and be like, oh my God, so cute. Can I pet your dog? Right? Usually women and children want to come up and pet the dog. And he's friendly and lovable. So whenever somebody comes up like, oh, so cute, He wags his tail and totally hams it up, right? He knows he's cute. He's one of those dogs who knows he's cute as fuck. And he totally plays it up to his advantage. Ralph is awesome. He really is. Speaking of, so I released a members only video of me and Ralph. And it's been weeks since I put it out. So for all of you guys watching, I'm going to give you guys a special treat. I'm going to show you guys the members only video. Me and Ralphie celebrating Ralphie's birthday. It's not a long video. It's really cute. And it has flashbacks to when Ralph was a puppy. I'll throw this on real quick and I'll be right back. We are back in Monterey. Ralph just turned 1 year old yesterday. Yesterday was his birthday. So I figured we would celebrate by taking Ralph to this amazing area of Monterey. I took him here when he was 3 months old. We were here in December of 2024. And now we're back, October 2025. Ralph is much bigger. This is where he saw geese for the first time. That one's hissing. They're hissing. I don't think they want to play with you, Ralphie. They didn't want to play with you when you were a little puppy, and I still don't think they want to play with you. No, those puppies do not like you. Those goose puppies. The goose puppies don't want to play with Ralphie. Ralphie's like, I just want to play with the goose puppies. The hissing goose puppies. So we're here at El Estero Park. So we went over across the street and Ralph got to meet a friend, another hound dog. Ralph. Oh, look at that hound puppy. It's a big hound pup. Couple of hound dogs meeting for the first time. Whenever Ralph meets a new dog, every single time he wags his tail and he's happy to meet every dog. He's never growled or shown any aggression to any other dog. So the fact that he just meets this dog and then they just start playing, it's really a good thing that I have such a well-mannered, well-tempered dog, right? That's what I like to see. It's Stuff like this just makes me happy. Seeing my dog happy makes me happy.
Isn't that wonderful?
All right, got a request from Replacement Skylights. Says Jason Brashears is my new favorite #1 impression. Well, I gotta tell you, every morning when I wake up, I brew myself a pot of coffee and I pour at least 3 or 4 shots of Kentucky bourbon whiskey in with my coffee. I always drink my coffee with bourbon whiskey. It helps me realize that we indeed do live in a computerized realm. I discovered that this realm is actually a matrix while I was intoxicated on coffee and bourbon whiskey. So when I went to Las Vegas and I discovered that I could beat Las Vegas, I could beat not only their table games, but I could pick winners in all of the different sports based on an algorithm. This algorithm, of course, we are refining, and I'll sell it to you for $500. You can have access to my files, and I'll show you how I've been beating Las Vegas regularly. I have won over 6 figures in Las Vegas in the last 6 months. Let me tell you what, brother. This is something that I am very proud to share with all of you. This knowledge is second to none. I'm going to write me a book about how this realm is a computerized demonic matrix realm, and we have discovered ways which we can manipulate this realm to our advantage. There you go. There's a little Jason Brashears for you. People love archaics. Oh, wait. We're going to go out in a minute. You got to wait. Watch out. Then I got a super chat coming in from Kevin Arnold from the Wonder Years. What would you do if Kevin Arnold sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Winnie Cooper was Kevin's one true love, but then she went and hung out with some other dude, yeah. Oh, I love the Wonder Years show. Kevin Arnold was my favorite. All right. Every time Kevin sends me a super chat, I sing the Wonder Years theme. There's very few people who probably get that joke. Lemming in a shiny metal box with a very, very generous donation says, Sir Jake, you are a tankard of truth in the darkness and a kindling of comedy within this vacuous void of veracity. Wow. You are a wordsmith warlock, sir. Your vocabulary is outstanding. I would have just been like, bro, you're a cool dude, bruh. But you came up with this whole veracity and kindling of comedy and tankard of truth. I am the one and only tankard of truth, the kindling of comedy with my vacuous void of veracity. Am I saying that right? Vacuous? I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Wow. Those are words I probably would have never said had you not typed them for me to say. Thank you very much for the super generous super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Lemming in a shiny metal box, y'all. Coming through with the largest donation of the night. Double fist bumps, sir. Put both fists up to the screen. Give me a double fist bump right here, right now, bro. Hey, anybody still watching right now, still hanging out here live on a Wednesday evening, do your boy a solid and hit the thumbs up. It's quick and easy. makes me feel good, lets YouTube know that you enjoy this type of content. Lets me and Ralph know that you enjoy this type of content. Yes, Rosabelle, she knows what's up. Longtime supporter. Kelly knows what's up. Art Hawk knows what's up. If you know what's up, hook a brother up with a thumbs up. Vacuous. Virility. Yeah, shows you how often I say that word. I have a decent size vocabulary, but I'm not the type that picks and chooses a bunch of big words and strings them all together to look and sound fancy. Hit those thumbs up. It's quick, it's easy. All right. All right, since you guys are such an awesome audience, we'll watch a little more of Ralph hanging out at the beach. This was Ralph's birthday. Ralph is 1 year old. His birthday was last month, October 9th. Yeah, it makes me happy to see him happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it amazing two dogs can meet and it's like they're best friends? Look how happy they are. And they just met, right? So within 30 seconds, it's like they're best pals. Isn't that crazy? And here's a flashback to 2024. So this is the exact same beach that I took Ralphie to when he was 3 months old. So this is Ralphie when he's only 3 months old. Same beach, flashing back to when he's a year old. What a gorgeous day in Monterey. Hardly anyone on the beach. It was a hell of a day. Took Ralph over. It was early October. The weather was pristine, like 67 degrees, sunny, no clouds, no chemtrails, just perfect seaside weather, sea breeze, a little salt in the air. It was a great trip. You know, just spending time outdoors with my dog has become like one of my favorite things to do. Just going out and walking around on a nice day. Like, it's almost like I'm like an old person now. Like, I find simple joy in just like taking my dog for a walk on a nice day. I'm a sucker for perfect weather. So if I can just go out on a walk on the beach and the weather's perfect, it gives me this feeling of contentment, and I'm just happy to be alive. So it was one of those days where it was just positivity, and other people who were out enjoying the day, they were enjoying themselves, you know. So something about going to the beach and having perfect weather and then being around other people who are also out enjoying it, that it's like it's contagious. And so when I drive away from the beach and then I come back to this office, it's hard sometimes to find motivation to create for you guys day in, day out, day in, day out, you know, without recharging my batteries somehow. So one of the ways I recharge my batteries, so to speak, and find my inner happiness is by stuff like this, walking around on the beach with my dog, the simple joys in life, you know. So back in my 20s, it was all about trying to go get laid by a hot chick, you know. And that went on into my 30s. And now in my 40s, I'm like, I just want to go on a pleasant walk with my dog and not have any issues and not think about all the stuff that's perpetually getting shittier. Because everything in the world is perpetually getting shittier. So sometimes the only thing I have to look forward to anymore is just going on a nice walk with my dog and not thinking about the bullshit, tuning it all out. Sadly, it costs money to go do this. So just taking a walk over here on this beach, I got to drive to get there. And then everything when you get there is double and triple the expense, right? Gas is more expensive over there. Food's expensive over there. So just going over there and just spending my time enjoying the weather and walking around still costs a pretty penny. So it's like in this world, you know, you can't even go enjoy something as simple as a walk on the beach with your dog without having to have money to go do it, you know? So yeah, it's one of the simple ways I find happiness is taking my dog to the beach. You like the beach, Ralphie? Does Ralphie like the beach? Come on, Ralph. Come on. So if you look at his face, he used to have more of a black head and black ears. So the colors on his face have changed quite a bit. See, here he is as an adult dog. Now his head's all brown and his ears are brown. And his nose is kind of light colored, but the beach. There he is. See, so he used to have darker ears and a darker head. So for those of you out there, if you get a puppy and you think that the puppy's just going to like be a bigger version of how it looks when it's a puppy, their coat and their color can change. And so his body still looks a lot the same, but the colors on his face have changed over the year that I've had him. See? Come on, Ralph. Come on. Let's run. Come on. Yeah. What are you doing? What are you digging up? You digging for clams? Are you digging for clams, Ralphs? And another thing, the dog comes alive. When he's on the beach, he like comes alive. And when he realizes he's not on the leash and he can run in any direction he wants, he frolics and runs, and he's just like in this state of bliss and happiness. And then me being there with him, it's like I get to feed on that energy. Like the dog is at his most happy when he's out on this beach, or any beach for that matter, and it makes me happy. So it's like I'm finding that simple things like really nice weather and picturesque locations are some of the only things that I can really enjoy anymore and feel content, right? Are you trying to dig through to China? That won't work. I've tried. It ain't down there. Yeah, good boy. Ralphie, good boy, likes the beach. Well, there's something I don't see back home. A dead sea lion. So here's what we found when we were out walking. A big ass dead sea lion. I'm not sure if like they got hit by a boat or if a shark attacked it or what, but its ribs were showing right here. And it was all bloated. It had been there for a few days, but it's just some crazy shit that I would never see, you know, here at home. So in the middle of California, in the valley, it's farmland and it's boring and it sucks. There's nothing cool to see. But over on the coast, the weather is so much better. The people who are out enjoying themselves are happy to be out and enjoying the weather and enjoying the coast. And so there's like a vibe over on the coast that's completely different from the middle of the state. So the middle of California sucks. And then the coast is where all the vibes are. And then the mountains to the east, it's okay. The mountains are all right. There's some nice places out in the mountains, but I am a sucker for the coast. Yep. Looks like it's been here a few days. And you can see Ralph, he's already getting ready to try and roll on the dead sea lion. So Ralph, when he smells something dead, he thinks it smells wonderful. So as you can see, he's starting to roll next to the dead sea lion because he wants to roll on the dead sea lion. So I got to stop him before he actually goes and makes contact with the dead sea lion. Knowing Ralph, he wants to roll in it and get that dead smell all over him. No, get away. See? He was going to fucking roll on the dead sea lion. The dog is cute, but this is some of the non-cute shit that he does. When he finds something dead, he wants to roll in it. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You want that dead smell on you, don't you? I've seen him roll on dead animals before. I found him rolling on a dead squirrel at the beach one time. He likes the smell of dead animals, but I don't. Yeah, I wonder if like a shark got him or what happened to him. Or maybe he died of natural causes. Who knows? And then here's a flashback to the same beach in 2024. Ralph's only 3 months old. We found this big ass crab that was caught in the weeds. Looked like it got attacked by, I don't know, a seal or maybe a sea lion or something, but it's got arms missing. So we found this crab on the beach, and while Ralph was sniffing it, it like was still alive. So I had to pull him out of there because I was afraid that the crab might, with its nerves, pinch him or something. I had to pull him back because he was sticking his nose up in there. And I was afraid that the crab might, you know, be alive enough to pinch him. So you never know what you're going to find when you're out walking along the beach. Here we are. Me and Ralph's at the beach. Me and Wealthy at the beach. You good boy. You good boy, Belfs. Oh, that was a good trip. We spent 3 days over on the coast on that trip. We did one night in Santa Cruz, one night in Monterey, and then the third night we stayed in Carmel. stayed in my van. But all day long, we would walk around the beaches, and so nice. When you go to a really nice area of California and the weather's perfect, it's just so damn nice. So yeah, there's a members only video. So lucky you guys, if you're not a member, you got to see some exclusive members only content there. I put that out for the members last month. Jamie said that's the best life, a man and his dog. You know, sometimes, guys, the days fly by so fast, and I'm like, you know, for instance, like if I'm working on the top 10 most rigged video, and I'm like looking at football clips and editing the video all day, and before I know it, it's dark. And then it's like the only thing I can think that I did during the day that was enjoyable was take the dog out. So sometimes the most enjoyable thing I do in an entire day that I can think of once the day's over is me being outside with the dog. Sometimes it's just, you know, 20 minutes at a park, you know, half an hour at a local park. And that's like the nicest thing I do all day. Because there are certain days, you know, like if I'm just working on the football video or whatever, and I'm editing the video, you know, that's sitting here in the office while I'm watching the plays, trying to find the phoniest plays. That's me sitting here in the office. You know, when I prepare for these streams and I'm trying to find videos to show you guys, it's me watching videos here in the office. So whenever I can get out of the office and do something outdoors, it oftentimes is the most enjoyable thing that I do all day. So having said that, I'm going to start trying to create content outside more often. And so hopefully you guys will support my walk and talk videos. I've done a few and I've had some success, and some videos didn't do that well, but I have put out a few videos where I walked around and talked with my new camera, and the videos did decent. And then some of them didn't do that great. But I do want to make more videos where I'm out walking and talking with the new camera. So it's partially my fault for not making a bunch of videos like that lately. I've been doing these streams and then doing the football content, and I've neglected making other videos where I just walk and talk about stuff. So I'm going to try and create more outdoor content for you guys. Just more content in general, you know. YouTube seems that they're rewarding the content creators who keep pumping out content every day. So I guess I need to get my shit together and try and pump out a video for you guys every day. And so if I'm going to pump out a video every day, I should probably make my dog walks into content if I can. Cookie said just posts unedited vids. Well, if I go out and shoot video with the new camera, I got to edit it a little bit. You know, like when I start the video and when I stop the video, I got to cut off the beginning and the end and stuff. Sometimes I fumble over my words or make a mistake while I'm talking. And so sometimes I need to cut out little parts. So even in a video where you're just walking and talking and the editing is done very easily, it's still, I need to take the time to go through, edit the video a little bit at least, and at least adjust the mic levels and stuff. So I actually have some footage that I need to edit that I've already shot for you guys, me walking and talking with the dog. I just been caught up doing these streams and posting the football content that I haven't uploaded any of those walk and talk videos lately, but I have a few already shot that I need to upload for you guys. So those of you who don't care about the football content and you want to see me uploading other forms of content, you know, like where I talk about different shit, I'm going to be making that content for you soon. More of that content, I should say. So for instance, if I go to my channel and I scroll back before football season started, I did some videos where I was walking around with the camera, and these ones didn't do that great. But then this one right here actually got promoted by YouTube.
Roku's self-serve.
Here, I'll show just a quick minute of this one. So for whatever reason, YouTube actually promoted this one, and I got a bunch of new people to watch who aren't even subscribed to the channel. So it's crazy how, look at the crazy look in my eye. It's crazy how certain videos YouTube will promote, and I'll get a bunch of comments and a bunch of views. See, look, 944 comments on this video, 23,000 views. So this is one that did good, and it's just me walking around and talking. So I should probably make more videos similar to this one, since this one did good. Now, yeah. Have you noticed that everything is in decline right now? Yeah, it seems like everything, as far as business is concerned and the economy is concerned, it seems like everything is in a state of decline. If you look at the car lots, they're claiming nobody's buying new cars. Now I'm hearing nobody wants to buy new homes. So here's the thing that kind of bothers me about YouTube when they promote a video like this, is it causes me to think, oh, maybe I should make more videos like this. But the video title, The Downfall of Everything, Entertainment is in Decline. Like, I'm just walking around talking about how all of the industries in entertainment collectively seem to be in a major decline, and the quality of entertainment in general has taken a huge nosedive. And so a video like this is like, it's informative, but I don't do anything funny, right? Like, there's nothing that I do in the video that's mind-blowing or like, you know, going to make people bust the gut laughing. So I find it strange that a video like this will get promoted and it'll get seen by more people who aren't subscribed to the channel. The statistics show like 60% of the views on this video were from non-subscribed individuals. And it's about me talking about the downfall of everything. And so I see certain channels talking about doom and gloom and they get pushed. But then if you make a video that's more on the positive side, where you're not pushing doom and gloom, then they don't push you to new viewers. And then the video doesn't do so well or even tanks. So I don't want to be pigeonholed into only making doom and gloom content. I don't want to be pigeonholed into making videos that aren't funny at all. But at the same time, the views don't lie. Like, I got a lot more people to watch this video where I'm talking about entertainment in decline, and I'm not trying to be funny at all, than some videos where I'm like trying to be funny, you know, and make you guys laugh. So sometimes it's confusing what sort of content I should make next for you guys. Like, here I am in a spot where the football stuff isn't everyone's cup of tea, and I can make other forms of content. But what sort of content do you guys really want? And will you watch it if I make it for you? You know? So people watched this, and this is just me walking around talking to the camera. The housing market is starting to crash. Every form of entertainment is in decline and crashing, whether it's music, television, streaming, what have you. It seems every single thing that we know of is facing some sort of decline at the moment. So yeah, in this video, you can hear the tone in my voice. I'm not like, hey, what's up, sports fans? This guy right here is playing fake football, right? So it's a totally different vibe than my NFL stuff. And I'm using my new camera. So I don't want to watch the replay in 4K because it'll bog down the stream. But on this new camera, I actually have the video shot in 4K. So this is one of the few instances where the video's in 4K and I'm using my wireless microphone. So this is more of like a professionally shot type video, but I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm just walking around talking about how entertainment is in decline. So I've noticed that when I shoot video with the new camera and I just walk around and talk, that sometimes YouTube will promote it to a new audience and I'll get a bunch of new viewers to watch. But then I made a few other videos like this where they hardly promoted it to anyone. So it's confusing to know what's going to escape the think tank here with you guys. What's going to escape the echo chamber and actually get to some new viewers. So this is an example of a video they actually let new viewers actually find it, right? So what is really going on? Is it just a recession, or is there something more going on? Is it just because people don't feel like spending money? Well, why don't people feel like spending money like they used to? It's because they don't have as much money to spend, and things are getting a lot more expensive really quickly. So the tariffs. All right, there's somebody saying that they are playing a clip of you talking about chips and balls on the Star Report, bro. You should call in there. He has a big audience. Like recently that happened, or what? Are you talking about like right now, or like yesterday or last week, or what? Sometimes other channels give me a shout out, but it's very far and few. Not many channels will give me a plug. And that's because I'm a real dude and I'm not part of a shill network. So usually shills will promote other shills. And since I'm not a shill, I usually don't get promoted. So the fact that somebody's talking about me, talking about the chips and the balls, that's something. So the NFL admits to the chips being in the balls. They say it's for data collection and to make sure that the ball has crossed the goal line. But what they don't admit to is there being mechanical technology in the field goal kicking balls, which manipulate the balls once they've been kicked and cause them to bang into the uprights or miss completely. So the NFL admits they have technology in the balls, but they say it's for statistical purposes and to make sure that the balls cross the goal line on goal line plays when a player is in a pile and the ball is hidden and the camera doesn't have a good shot, that they can use the technology in the ball to determine if the ball crossed the goal line. So they make it out like it's for the betterment of the game that they put computer technology in the balls, but they do not talk about how the kicking balls have some sort of like mechanical gyro. So the balls that they use for field goal kicking have some other technology that they are tight-lipped about. And the technology includes some sort of mechanical gyro type thing that will cause the ball to wobble and move in a way that defies physics, basically. So there has to be some sort of mechanical technology in the kicking balls, which is causing it to be able to be steered with a remote, and what's causing it to keep banging into the uprights over and over again. He says 1,500 people watching the Star Report right now. Check 38-minute of the stream. Oh, so it's like he's talking about me tonight. I'll check it out real quick. The Star Report, huh? I'm looking right now. What part? At what point is it? 38th minute of the stream. 45, 38, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So like 7 minutes ago.
Because there's chips in those footballs. Do you know that? And the NFL wants to keep their data to themselves and give you a ball that doesn't have chips.
Computer chips inside the game balls. Don't believe me? Google it. Now, I discussed in my last video that I believe that these computer chips can be turned into an electromagnet, and thus you can have the ball be manipulated with magnets and technology and cause, let's say, a field goal that was going to be good to bounce off the uprights instead.
So we got 1,600 people over there on his channel listening to me. Why aren't they over here listening to me on my channel, right? So this just goes to show you some guy with the Star Report can sit there showing my work with 1,600 people watching. Meanwhile, I've only got like between 300 and 400 watching over here. And I'm the guy, right, that he's showing. It seems like I only get a big audience, like over 1,000 people watching, if there's some major event that goes down. So the last time I had over 1,000 people watching me at once was when Trump got fake shot in his ear. And I broke that down. So that was a while ago. So yeah, when Trump got shot in his ear and I did my breakdown, I had like 1,200 people watching. And that was the most I'd had in a long time that I can remember. And this dude's got 1,600 people watching me talk about the chips and the football. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know if how exactly I should go about trying to reach out to this dude, but I could leave him a comment afterwards, try and reach out to him. I don't know if he reads his comments or if he'll see my comment or what, but
now this isn't the only way.
Oh, he's got a number to call in. I don't know if I try calling him right now, if he'll answer or what.
That this technology is being used, I also believe that this very same magnetic technology is being implemented into the players' gloves, especially wide receivers, making all those awesome one-handed catches that they routinely seem to make.
And that's I didn't think about that. Magnets in the football. What was the guy's name?
He didn't think about that. Dude's never even thought of magnets in the football.
On the Giants, who made that catch years ago, that very famous one-handed catch as he was falling back. Not Odell Beckham Jr. Anybody know what I'm talking about? I didn't think about that.
All right.
In presentation mode, your line is muted.
Sports saying that he felt like the game was rigged as well too. He himself, he played in that game. So Arian Foster, former Houston Texan running back, tough running back, he went to the University of Tennessee.
All right, so I just called in, and it goes to him talking. So it's not like I'm patched in to talk to him.
In the early 2000s, I think they beat the Raiders that year. He was saying that he knew certain plays in the playbook. He knew what they was going to do in certain situations in the second half or whatever. And I think he had 2 pick sixes in that Super Bowl, as a matter of fact. So if not prominent.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know how to get a hold of him. I just tried to call in, but then all it does is just go to his show, and it has me muted to where it doesn't like patch me through to him. Huh. Wonder if I was to show up in the chat. And say, thanks for showing my video. Do you want me to come on as a guest? I'm asking if I can come on and be a guest on his show. You can see me in the chat there. Over in the chat, I just left a message. Said, you showed my NFL video. And would you like to have me on as a guest?
Absolutely. Let me make sure the number's on the screen. Can you see the number? Jake, you want to, tell us what number you're calling from? Okay, so I've always suspected baseball for decades. I loved watching baseball in the 70s when I was a kid with my father. And then in the 80s, I was into baseball as well. Somewhere around maybe the early 90s, I was consumed with business and I pulled away. I always suspected the core of the baseball, whether it was made out of something to.
All right, so he just said that I could call in. So he just read my comment. This will be crazy.
Welcome to the conference center. The conference is in presentation mode. Your line is muted.
What's going on, brother? Hey, who's calling?
Hey, what's up? This is Jake the Awake. You were just showing my video.
I'm sorry, back to you. Yes, sir. I know he messed up when he called you brother, so there you go. Yeah, you were saying?
So I was live streaming. I'm live streaming on my channel.
Baseball has with some even more communication with the pitcher and the catcher. There's devices in the hats, possibly even in the gloves or what have you. So sports is becoming way more tech and actually it's a virtual reality video game in real life nowadays. Sports. There's too much tech. There's too much technology, and as the guard used to say in the lessons, technology involved in what's going on. And when you realize who's the orchestrator of all these things, if you have any knowledge yourself, you can't put nothing past these cats. So my love for sports is pretty much done. I watch it, it's on as background noise when I'm doing chores or whatever the case is. But me being engaged in it, yeah, man, me being engaged in it the way I used to be, I actually see through a lot of the BS. There's certain things that go on in sports that if you play sports, you've been watching long enough, there's certain defensive breakdowns, there's certain aspects of the game that if these are true professionals, these things could never happen. And it could never happen as often.
And I have to be honest, years ago, I did say, I want more bang for the buck. I want to see everybody on steroids. I want to see all the records. I want to see all the records broken. If I'm going to be paying $12 for a hot dog, however much a pretzel costs now, parking. If I'm going to be paying astronomical prices, I want everybody on drugs, and I want all the records broken. So hold on 1 second, Most High. This may not be.
Line unmuted.
Good evening. Who's there?
Hello, this is Jake the Awake.
Hey, Jake, how are you, man? I played part of your video. Thank you for calling in.
So what happened is I'm live streaming on my channel, and in my chat, somebody said that this guy is playing one of my video clips for his audience. And so I pulled up your stream during my stream, and I see that you were showing my video. So I make content about the NFL being rigged and scripted, and that all the players are in on the act.
If I can jump in for a second, you actually had a longer video. I didn't play the whole thing. I just played that little IG clip. So this is what you do. You focus on the NFL and you expose things, or just the computer chips, the microchips in particular of the Bulls?
So my channel is more of like a conspiracy channel. I break down all sorts of different conspiracies, but one of the things that is popular on my channel is I break down the NFL games. Each week I pick out the most fake, phony looking plays, and I show slow motion replays that prove that all the players are playing pretend football. They're all faking it. And the reason they're all faking it is to beat the sports gamblers. They're basically being told to go out there and win or lose. It's like a predetermined WWE match. And basically, this is how they can.
Do you truly believe that? Do you truly believe that, or is it a good, good marketing tool?
I don't think it's a belief as much as it's a straight up fact. So sports gambling is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and if they can get the players to throw games on purpose, then they can control who wins and loses. So across the board, whether it's the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball, all the players are playing pretend, and the games are completely fake and phony, like professional wrestling, basically.
So listen, let me tell you how ironic and valid this is. I'm already a subscriber to this dude's channel, and tell me if I'm lying. The dude just changed his channel. The channel name is Jake the Awake now. Before the channel was Jake the A-hole. Right or wrong?
Yes, I changed the name so that more people could share my videos without the word asshole being attached to it.
So I've been subscribed. No funny foulness. He's been on the topic, and since I've been researching this for quite some time now, I'm already up on what he was doing. So it's funny that you actually got in contact with him, because he's one of the channels that I watch that go in depth to break this stuff down. So it's crazy.
Hey, Jake, can I ask you with regards to the NBA? Do you have any knowledge with regards to the basketballs? And people like Steph Curry making all these crazy three-point shots, or do you just focus on the NFL?
So the NFL is my main focus, but I have made a few videos about the NBA. So if you wanted to show my NBA video, I discuss how they have a technology to ensure that the ball either goes in the hoop or misses. So I think it's a sophisticated form of magnetic technology. And basically, if the magnets are on, the ball will go through the hoop, almost guaranteed. And if they turn it off, it's almost like a reversing of the magnetic polarity. They can make a ball miss no matter what. So the NBA, it comes down to whether the ball goes in the hoop or whether it doesn't go in the hoop. And that's how the money is won and lost. So all they got to do to control the outcome of every game just perfectly is not only have the players in on it, but also have control over every basket. And so they have implemented a technology to where a guy like Steph Curry at half court, if they have the magnets turned on, he can rein them in all day long. And so it's technology inside the ball. And so there's a few situations where the balls got stuck on top of the rim or on the back of the rim, where it exposes that there's magnetism. And so I actually have a video on the channel. If you scroll back, I think it's like a year and a half ago, like maybe 2 seasons ago, or last season. It's the NBA is rigged and scripted. And so I outline exactly how they're using this technology. Now, they do admit that they use a military grade missile tracking system, and that they admit that they use it for statistical purposes. And so the NBA and the NFL both admit that they use technology in the ball, except their excuse is that they use it for tracking stats. They don't talk about how the technology is used to manipulate the ball going in the hoop, or the ball in the NFL, hitting the uprights or missing on a simple extra point. So In the NFL, they're using technology to manipulate the field goals. And so if you're seeing the field goals go right, then left, then back right in an indoor stadium, and the reason you're seeing the ball bounce off the uprights each week is because they're manipulating the field goal kicks. So they won't talk about the fact that there is technology manipulating the kicks going in the field goal uprights or missing completely. So they tell the truth about technology being in the balls, but they give a lie as to what the technology is used for. They say that it's for statistical reasons why they have the chip in there.
If I can jump in for a second, Jay. Okay, so we've got the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, anything else in America that you know of or that you have a conspiracy with regards to professional sports that we should be, I don't know, aware of? Any other balls or...
Well, I mean, combat sports are extremely rigged. For instance, you don't have to be an intelligent person to see that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, that they weren't really fighting, right? So stuff like that has been going on for years. It's just they disguised it better. So for instance, the UFC, you can have two fighters throw punches at each other and actually hit each other, but if they both know that they're not allowed to knock each other out and they need their fight to go the distance, if they've been told beforehand, we need you guys to go the distance, go the full 3 rounds, and this guy's going to win by decision, and then they both know that they're going to hit each other a little bit, but they're not going to try and actually knock each other out. So you can have a UFC fight where guys are pretending to fight and they can hit each other a little bit for real and even, have some bumps and maybe even some blood. But if they're not fighting to actually hurt each other, then you can basically have a scripted fight where they're simulating the violence.
If I can jump in for a second, the Most High, do you want to jump in because I'm getting back up on calls? I'm going to let Jake land his plane. In response to what he's been saying, the Most High.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with almost everything, if not everything that he said. On top of that, combat sports were probably the first sport. Well, I think all sports were used for some type of distraction, some type of ritualistic aspect. The older I get, I'm starting to research more. More people like the gentleman on the line are doing in-depth research on it. So the outcome of especially boxing, you can look up Frankie Carbo. He was a mobster who used to have influence on the boxing matches in the 50s or whatever. So manipulating the outcome of sporting events is nothing new. And pause in advance, just like how you said, Star. Anything having to do with a puck, a ball, something like that, sensors could be put in there. Sensors could be put into the goalposts of hockey, of the goaltenders. Of the goals post in hockey, let's just say, same thing in soccer. You know what I mean? So there's nothing new under the sun. You have to think that with all this technology nowadays, that they're manipulating every and anything having to do with reality and how we live.
All right, Jake, if I can read a comment for you on the screen. Black Man Rising says the Olympics does not use technology, which is why scores are lower. Any thoughts on that, Jake? The Awake Cap.
So there's certain Olympic events where they can let them play it out for real because there's no money on the line. But then there's other Olympic events, like when Team USA basketball will inexplicably lose to some, team from France or whatever. That's when the games are manipulated. So the rule of thumb is if you can bet on it, then it's fixed. If you can bet on one of those apps, if you can drop, $5,000 on the sporting event, then that means it's going to be fixed. And so even at the college level, they have teams that are being players scouted by the NBA to where even in a small college game, you can have kids throw in the game. And as long as they have multiple people on the court under their thumb, they can get the outcome they want. So basically it comes down to sports betting is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and they aren't going to leave that money on the table for random sports bettors to win based on who they think is the better team. So what they can do is.
I just want to interject this. Is it fair to say that not only are the puppet masters, rigging the games and other things, but now we have athletes who are willingly getting on performance enhancement drugs, and we've got a totally different type of sports entertainment. That people are using performance enhancement drugs. And again, like I said years ago, I was saying I want to get more bang for the buck. The prices of tickets are going up. The food, I want to see all the records broken, and I want everybody on drugs. What do you think about that, Jake, before you go?
Absolutely. So with, let's say, baseball, for instance, you can have the players juiced. You can have the bats corked. You can manipulate the balls so that they go farther or that they don't go as far. The players can not play to the best of their potential and purposely lose. And then you have the referees can make bad calls at any time if something doesn't go their way. And so they have every aspect of the game underneath their control so that they can control all the outcomes of all the games. And so as my rule of thumb is, if you can bet on it, it is fixed.
And stay in touch.
Yeah, so just a quick promotion. So every week I put out a top 10 most rigged plays of the week video. And so I just put out on Tuesday, I put out the top 10 most rigged plays of week 10. So every week I show the most rigged NFL plays. And so definitely if you guys are listening now and you want to see some proof that the NFL is rigged and scripted, I prove it every single week on the Jake the Awake channel. I want to thank you for having me on tonight. You guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I will talk to you next time.
Take care, Jake. All right.
Wow. How about that? There's something that doesn't happen every day. Very rare that anyone gives me a shout out, right? And so the fact that there was somebody showing my work and then I sent him a message and then I was able to get in that quickly, kind of shocked. I didn't think it would be that easily, or I didn't think it would be that easy to get in there. Hopefully you guys could hear it on your end. I know I was talking on the phone and I had it on speaker mode. So I don't know how much you guys could hear it, but they let me say my piece and I got to promote my channel, plug my channel. So that's cool. The audio is good. Okay. Awesome. Talon Garden said that was tits. Nice. Went well. That was great. Oh, I'm glad you guys dig it. Issa Mindset says, you're going to get so many new subscribers. I'll believe it when I see it. I might pick up a handful of new subs from that, but how many people are actually going to come over and sub to the channel just because of me calling in? I don't know. But hey, that was cool, you know. Somebody was showing my work and I got to chime in and say my piece and promote the channel. Glad I didn't say the N word. One chatter said that you sleep standing up, Jake. Is that true? Definitely not true. In fact, I have to stop myself from taking so many damn naps. So what I do is I take my mattress right over here and I put it on the floor here in the office, take a little nap whenever I want or when it's time to go to sleep. So I definitely sleep laying down. I wouldn't have a mattress if I slept standing up. All right, guys. Well, I guess after that, I don't really have anything else planned. I guess we could wrap up Wake 'em Up Wednesday. So before we go, if you guys enjoyed the stream tonight, hook your brother up with a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me tonight on a random Wednesday night, right? Like what else is going on Wednesday night? So the fact that you guys decided to spend your Wednesday with me, I really appreciate that. So extra big thank you to all of the people who sent super chats. Your guys' donations help keep me afloat. And I really have the best subscribers in the world. I appreciate it. You guys are a great audience. I want to thank you for supporting me week after week, year after year. All the longtime supporters who've been here for years. Thank you guys for helping me continue to do what I do. So until next time, this is your favorite comedian, your favorite truth teller, and mine as well, signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video or in the next stream. Take care. I'll see you guys this weekend. I'll try and do a stream like Saturday or something. So until next time, peace out. Much love. Bye-bye.